this one's pretty bad as well, actually.
Oh shit, the title. Ah, fuck. Okay. Momentum mod team Q and A stream number 14, May 2022. Alright, we're good.
I'm gonna get some amazing Chinese food after this.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For having a meal!
A Chinese meal!
It's been fixed. All right, now it should be properly hot mic'd. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 14th Momentum Mod Developer Q&A. I'm joined with some of my lovely team members, but my name is Gocnak. I'm the project lead and development lead of Momentum Mod, here to answer some of your awesome questions that you ask us over in our Discord, which I think if you !Discord, it should work now. I think we did that. We fixed it. If not, then crap. Anyway, we'll go down the list of who's here with us, and we'll get going.
Oh,
I'm Bray.
Right.
I do game programming, UI programming, game and UI programming.
At the same time. So like one or the other or both. Yeah.
2 keyboards.
And then False is not here. He's totally in class.
Yeah.
So, yeah, moving on then.
Hi, I'm Tom. I'm doing web stuff at the moment all the time. It's really boring.
Tedious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tedious. New frameworks.
End-to-end tests. It sucks.
Yeah. Test-driven development. Let's go. But it's
Yeah.
necessary because the old backend is not typed, and this one will be. And I'm really excited for that.
And it's messy, and it's
Yeah.
it's not even. It's going to be better.
It is going to
Do
be
we
better.
still talk about what we're working on?
Oh, I forgot that slide. That's true. I forgot that slide this time. But we'll start it off with that. Yeah. And wait. Oh, Nerdman's muted. Okay. Well,
I'll continue mine, and then maybe Alex can carry on. Doing the same thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right now, we're rewriting our API backend.
Yeah.
Which was mostly written in like 2018, and it's in pure JavaScript, which is dynamically typed, which means you don't know what stuff is all the time, which is especially bad in JavaScript, because in JavaScript you can make objects out of fucking anything, and they'll just be these massive, complicated objects. You've got no idea what like structure they have. It's really annoying.
Yeah.
So that's Express, JavaScript, untyped, bad. We're doing it in TypeScript, which is like JavaScript but has types, and other stuff. It's just a much more organized, REST platform API.
Yeah.
Using Nest.js, which is pretty cool, and Prisma, which makes database stuff really nice, and some other tech stack stuff we've got. I've been doing tests all the time.
Tests and Jest.
Writing code. Writing Nest tests and Jest, which is just writing code that runs every time we write other code, so we can check that the code we just wrote didn't break stuff. And it's really boring. We're getting there. It's just a bunch of work, and it's mostly me and Alex doing it. And I've been doing some Panorama stuff in the past month. I've been involved with like opening up the Panorama repo. That's been really nice. We'll probably talk about Pano more in the future.
Yeah, we have a question.
Yeah,
we even have a question about it. Yeah.
But mostly for me at the moment, it's just the web stuff is really pressing because we need to get it done. It's kind of been something that we've always known has been important for a while, but has been honestly like a several person job. And it's only like recently that we've got properly organized where we can have multiple people like working on one thing productively.
Yeah.
In that, like before, when we were working like the whole C# thing, it was basically one person saying they were going to do stuff that never got done. And like we couldn't really do it, and no one else could really get that much involved there. With this, Alex has been great. Alex has been the main person, the nerd man, who's in chat and also in voice. He's done a lot of the main like overall structural stuff, getting stuff set up. But then I realized a couple months back that we'd really need someone to jump over and help him out with the website porting, because it's just unreasonable for one person to do it all on their own. So
yeah,
I've been learning a bunch of that, hopping over there. I say it's all boring, but actually it's really rewarding when stuff works. When you have like a fully functioning API that's passing on your tests, that's really satisfying. And it's just crucial to the game. So I can't complain too much. But it is boring. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's valuable.
At all there, Alex? Is your hair?
I think he said he was shoveling food.
I have food right now, so bad timing on my part. But yeah, no, that was literally everything I would have said and more.
Right.
Thank you, by the way, so much for coming on and helping with the web development stuff.
It was you came on and got really involved with stuff, and then it just ended up being a bunch of work for you, and I felt like, I figured it was going to be a real struggle for you, so I'm going to be helping out. Might bring some more people to help out. We'll see. Yeah.
Yes. And if you know or are familiar with Angular or Nest.js, not Next.js, fuck you, web developers. Anyway, fucking package naming is just like one letter changed between all of them. Yeah, so if you know any Angular, TypeScript, Node, we're definitely open for any contribution. Again, it's fully open source, and it's a great learning opportunity as well, because this is going towards something that exists and isn't like a class project or anything, which is really nice. So yeah.
If you want to get a bunch of different parts of a common web tech stacks under your belt, ours is a pretty good project, because you'll work with quite a lot of quite trendy new tech stuff. Like Prisma especially seems like very popular with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's quite new and fancy.
Yeah, I mean, we can't really talk
also,
about
like,
bleeding
super
edge that
full
much.
stack.
Yeah, wait, I mean, we can't talk about bleeding edge with web because it's the bleeding edge is
Yeah,
like
for
constantly
sure,
moving every
yeah,
2
sorry.
months.
As I
So
was saying that, I was thinking, wait, I mean, no, Christmas
But
has been
it's-
out for a few years now. It can't be that fancy.
right, but it is still a good experience. So
Good
Yeah.
question. But if we were interested, how would we apply?
ooh, we have the form. It's there's a Google form for it.
I think we're going to update the form a bit in the future, aren't we? But
Yes.
and maybe post it in a few more places. We've just been going through some of the form stuff today, and we'll in terms of some potential web people, and we do still pay attention to that form. Has anyone got a link to it, or should I get it?
It should, yeah. It's gonna probably be in our announcement channel. I was trying to find it, but I can't see it right now.
I
But
got it.
got it? Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, pop that. There we go. Yeah. So feel free. Ignore the C# in the web dev. That was the old one. It's now Nest.js, which is TypeScript. So it's still typed, but more in the Node universe as opposed to C#, ASP.NET.
JavaScript, TypeScript.
I almost pasted the response.
Yeah, don't do that. That would be bad. That's people just rejecting each other. No, you're all good there. So feel free to apply there. We will be very much in touch with everyone that has applied. Yeah, it kind of slipped below us because stuff happens, but also
applicants at once and we're very busy around the same time. So
exactly.
Like there's some people we didn't get back to, unfortunately. We tried to get back to most. From now on we will be getting back to everyone. So
yeah, Google Sheets added an email notification for when people submit forms now. So now we'll know as well. That was the main thing. It was just nobody was checking it frequently enough to. But anyway, we will be checking it. We would love to have as much help as we can possibly get. You can also join the team if you like what we're doing, which we'll get to. But yeah, I guess we'll move on to the what I guess game devs have been up to. Me, myself, and I, I've been writing the changelog. So 091 wrap up, basically, getting us over onto Cloudflare pages for our blog. So now we're no longer dependent on Tumblr, which, if any of you might have noticed with our blog, it loads very quickly and it looks really good on mobile. And it's just a really nice joy because it's all in the GitHub kind of like static site generate. It's all hosted by Cloudflare via Cloudflare pages. And so it's an environment I'm used to as a like dev, and it's just open source as well. So if there's any like spelling mistakes or formatting things that look weird, people can contribute there. Obviously not contributing full blog posts because it's an official Momentum blog, but it's still open data, right? Like there's nothing really to hide on the blog. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. Excited that 091 dropped because now we're potentially going to expand our licensed devs. We're adding 3 new licensed devs. We're waiting on Valve right now to co-sign the NDAs. And then we're going to be looking into doing a lot of fun, like porting over to CMake, a lot of like internal stuff still, but 092, and we'll get into this. There's a question about like what's coming with 092 and onwards. 092 and 093 are actually going to be much smaller than 091 was, but we'll get into that with the question. But yeah, been a lot of fun like planning all of this, doing a lot of admin work, but also being able to document what the team's been up to. So if you want a really good summary of what we've been up to, definitely go read the latest blog post. The 091 changelog is a really good indicator of what we've been up to.
I just wanted to say how much I like the idea of someone like pull requesting a whole new blog post.
It's just completely, I know,
like,
irrelevant.
Can I use it for my blog as well?
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's no point in code review either because it's just like me writing, except for when PRs are open for like fixing things. So I don't know, like I know you can toggle off like things in the repository, but anyway, that's what I've been up to. I guess Bray is the last one that hasn't gone because Tom kind of went for Alex there. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been working on too much Momentum stuff lately because lots of life changes. Moved. So probably hear the echo.
The new room.
Got a job.
Yeah.
Got a job. In the industry. Look at it.
Yes.
See, Momentum Mod can catapult your career into the games industry.
Pretty sweet.
So another reason to
Yeah.
try to apply and be serious
But-
about working on the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of. Yeah, I think a lot of people on the team will get jobs in the industry, which is really
I'm
nice
going
because
yeah.
so far for me it's been amazing. One momentum thing I guess I did was that kind of touches a lot of different things, even though it's a little bit small. As for jump, it's class filtering works now. We'll have it next update, so you'll be able to play things like Elite and whatever other maps use class filtering.
Yeah, keep in mind this is for backwards compatibility. The maps that are officially ported over they won't use class filters. Like we'll fix up the map to properly get rid of the switch to blue and be demo man like stuff. So yeah,
it's all backwards compat.
Yep.
Stuff like Elite and Autumn.
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and get into the first question we got here.
Yeah, I guess I'm reading. First question. Yeah. Resistance is futile asks, how does Panorama actually work? And what advantages does it have compared to VGUI?
All right. Yeah, so this is it's a big question, but I wanted to put it first because it's topical. So 09, just kind of recapping, 091 is our big move to Panorama. What we had before was something called VGUI. It's Valve's game user interface or graphical user interface. It's the look and feel of the game, right? So the new framework, Panorama, is actually built off of web-related tech. So the idea of a website is like you have an HTML file that defines like what elements are on like the page, and then you have CSS files for like how everything on the page should look, and then JavaScript like files that, or in the HTML, that control how they behave. So like altering the elements, like if you click a button, what does the button click do? Things like that. So it borrows from that, and Panorama has XML files instead of HTML. I don't know. I mean, it's still markup language, right? So it's still brackets and like elements, right?
Still, HTML is XML.
Yeah, right. It's like a sub or superset. I forget, but yeah. And then subset. Yeah, that's right. And then we still have CSS files, but we actually use Sass, which is like a preprocessor on top of CSS that allows us to write kind of more complex like macros, mixins. It basically offers us more styling options without having to duplicate a lot of our like styling code. And then we use JavaScript. So straight up JavaScript embedded in the engine, which interopts. So like C++ can be like, hey, here's the list of maps, and it throws it over to JavaScript, and JavaScript gets that, and then like sets all of like the maps in the map list, and then that then gets translated to XML, right, the panels, right, and then the styling applies onto these panels. So it is not only a much nicer framework to make user interfaces with, it is much easier to iterate on. Like it is like, for example, Tom's work that you might have seen on this stream was actually just completely client-side, like Panorama code that was easily like mocked up and like implemented and iterated on without having to even touch C++ or like get any data from us, because it's that powerful. Like that level of view and view model, right? Like of like the view being the XML and the view model being JavaScript, like interacting with it. You can stub a lot of it like that and just get really nice looking UI in place. And then C++ devs can come in and expose the data, get the right events for when things happen in the game sent over to the UI. Like how it technically works, I mean, it hooks into the rendering system. Every, game frame, it like updates like the state of all the panels. It also ticks the JavaScript, engine for, running all of the JavaScript code that we have. I mean, I don't know how much I can really talk about the technical implementation of Panorama, but it's definitely, it's from Source 2, so Dota 2, Sandbox doesn't use it, but Half-Life Alyx. Those games use Panorama for their user interface, and then it was backported to CSGO, and then we got the CSGO engine license, which gave us access to that. So It's really nice. It's a really, really nice framework to work in. And honestly, I think it also has some performance benefits. Not right now because we heavily abuse blurs, but we're going to look into that. But there's actually there's caching involved with how it draws panels compared to VGUI. VGUI just basically always draws like the panel or like the background or anything like that. With Panorama, it actually can draw something and only need to update it when its state changes. So I think even 3Clicks Philip did a video about this. Like Panorama actually increases FPS because of how efficient it can be if you have elements that don't really change much over the course of like a frame or between frames. So things like speedometer, obviously, or CGAS that constantly update based on game input do kind of like take a little bit more. But yeah, it's honestly, it is just a really, really flexible user interface framework that allows us to really like make the game look and feel the way like way more, I guess, in line with how we want it to. Like if we do a mock-up, we can make it look like the mock-up that Traz makes, for example, really easily. And then yeah, that advantage of being able to just fully mock up something in just JavaScript and XML and CSS, and then without having to get any C++ data yet, that alone has caused us to be able to really iterate on like new or user interface refresh that we were doing. So
yeah, can I expand on that?
Yes, go ahead.
And so yeah, I'm one of the 3 people getting licensed soon. I've signed now. But everything I've been doing panorama wise, and I've done a big chunk of the panel work, has been me without license. So I have access to essentially the same code that everyone else does.
Yeah.
A lot of that was when I was when Panorama was on our green server, which is our like content games non-source code stuff. That's now open source. So essentially all the stuff that I do on Panorama, like you can now see on GitHub, and other people can do exactly that stuff. So
people already have. Yeah.
Yeah, we've had Road
Evil.
Yeah, been doing some cool stuff. There's several other bhoppers have been playing around with it. It's really easy to set up and mess around with now. And yeah, I mean, for me, because I wasn't, I'm not really. I'm getting licensed mostly to do API work, hooking up API work. I can write C++, but I'm not like a serious C++ programmer. But I immediately found like when we went closed source, like if there's something, a useful way for me to contribute would be to just learn this UI, because it's something that is not closed source, or the actual UI isn't closed source. So that's been like an amazing opportunity to actually contribute in a useful way. And now other people can do it because we've completely open sourced it all under an MIT license. So you can
very
want to take
purposeful.
our UI and use it for a commercial game. They can.
They have to implement Panorama first.
Yeah, which would be weird. But,
yeah.
the license is that permissive.
Yeah.
Because that's how you should actually do open source, not how British Sound says. So, and yeah, it's just kind of great. It's really fun to work with. It's got loads of weird quirks, as you kind of expect from a sort of in-house UI library made by Valve. But it's sick. You can make amazing looking stuff with it. It's really fun to work with, and we have engine devs like BLT and Slidey and accel who have done all this cool internal work, like cooking up SAS compilation, fixing rendering issues that Valve left in, and
weird inconsistencies we found.
We can do particles.
Yeah,
like it's so cool. We can make the UI emit particles if we want. We've not done it yet, but we will. There's all this really stupid stuff you can do with it that's like, it's so powerful. I implemented Minecraft FOV changing when you sprint the other day. Just every frame I made it take your velocity and change your FOV based on it. It's really powerful.
That's
don't do that, but you can do it.
Yeah, you could also add console
performant, but
no. Oh yeah,
no. Worst way of doing it.
Per frame stuff is definitely not performant.
Yeah.
So
that's
you
kind of another thing that I think will make it run a lot better, because VGUI, like our VGUI anyways, like our panels and things were written like so long ago.
So long ago. Yeah.
That that they're a little doing some things that were silly, like things on every frame, and now we've I said this in the meeting, it's not really a Panorama port, it's a Panorama remake. So we've like remade so many of these panels, and they're so much more performant because we did more event-based things rather than, you know, just running a bunch of stuff in like a every frame.
Yep. Yeah, and we've just gotten better too. So like a lot of the VGUI code was written 2014, 2015-ish. The more recent stuff, like the main menu settings, was like 2018, right, before our engine. And yeah, I mean,
also better review.
But yeah, better review process. It's not just me writing. Right. Yeah. So like it's gone through a lot, and it definitely like is implemented better and just like way cleaner too than some of these old classes. So, and then this is to say that VGUI, or this isn't to say that VGUI wasn't able to look this good. It would have just taken so fucking long
to
make rounded corners would have been ridiculous.
Yeah, rounded corners, blur. Like, I mean, we kind of like, you can kind of pseudo hook the blur.
There's some real limitations with VGUI.
Yeah,
but
and so,
but not
Yeah, like getting this fully fleshed out framework that Valve themselves use for their games, and getting like just better standards to, or like better, I guess, iteration, right, from the from JavaScript, from being able to reload in game and not having to fucking quit the game to reload the panel was the hugest pain in my ass with VGUI. I hated it. Sorry.
Yesterday I fixed, I think, 3 bugs that would have needed like issue cards and stuff normally, and I fixed them each in about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And they got reviewed in about 10 minutes because someone was online, and it's like one person reviewing very simple stuff. It's so easy. It's JavaScript, everything's compiled at runtime, right? So we don't have to care about tests and compilation. I mean, we could care about tests, but let's not do that.
Down the line.
You may write a unit test with Panorama, I'm gonna strangle you.
I gotta know if the panel works. Yeah.
But I mean, so yeah, we can iterate incredibly fast there, and it's especially now we're on GitHub. Oh my god, it's so nice. We're on GitHub.
The code review tools,
I got so excited I elbowed my microphone. Yeah, GitHub is so much nicer for review. It's amazing. And we get everything with GitHub now. We get GitHub CI for formatting.
Yeah,
Gitty, I mean, it's open source, good for them, but GitHub is just so much better.
Yeah,
GitHub is gorgeous for review. And so we can just review stuff so quickly. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Can I add one thing to Pano? I'm not exactly sure when. Hopefully in the next week, I will be doing a tutorial sort of stream on development stuff for it.
Yes. Set up.
It'd be more like
seeing,
a Q&A too. People ask questions.
Yeah. Well, what I'll do is I'll write out about half an hour to an hour's kind of structured stuff of what I'm going to go over with examples and whatnot. Somewhat organized, and I'll do that. Try and explain as much stuff as I can.
Yeah.
And then I'll just make some stupid shit that someone suggests in chat. Like someone tell me to make some like silly HUD element or something, or like I have always wanted to try recreate VGUI in Panorama.
I think Agent Agramar was doing
Agramar
that.
He did that with Minecraft.
He did the Minecraft thingy, No, I think Agramar did do that actually. Yeah. But we'll do something like that. I'll do something just with chat, where something that seems informative but also stupid, because I like making stupid stuff in Pano. Because we'd love to get more people, learning dev stuff for it. I'd like to do like a whole written guide. It'll take ages.
Yes.
So I think doing like
console recoil.
Console recoil was a good one. I love that one.
Console recoil.
I forgot about console recoil. Oh,
post-mortem.
Go to GDC just to talk about console recoil and not the game.
That was on TikTok.
We got some TikTok views on that.
On TikTok.
Anyway,
But yeah. So I'll be doing that sometime in the coming week. So I'll try. We won't do like an announcement thing for it, but I'll put something in like general momentum or whatever, just to say that I'm doing this like in tomorrow sometime. So that'll be fun.
Yeah. Same thing. Doing the same thing for the website would also be pretty good. But obviously not in the same stream. Just like down the line once the backend's fully rewritten.
It's all in slight turmoil right now, but we could definitely do it in the future.
So look forward to those. Or that stream, the Panorama stream for now. The website one's coming down the line. But hopefully this helps answer this. Panorama is a godsend when it comes to user interface, especially with all the neat tools that we have, especially the hot reloading and SCSS. Those two are just very nice. Okay, cool. Any other input for this question in particular? Cool. Thank you, Resistance, for this question, and let's move on to the next one.
All right. FadedFrank asks, I love this question. What's your favorite Risk Your Brain 2 character?
All right, this Q&A might take like 3 hours.
Yeah, okay. So
I guess I'll go first. Question again.
Playing like a lot of my favorite so far is like Railgunner, Commando, or Void Fiend, like fast fire.
Yeah.
I like fast fire rate. It's fun. I just get a bunch of rockets and I crash the game. That's what
That's all you need. Yeah.
You can vert. You can vert as Railgunner. Okay.
That's my favorite. Yeah. Get a hard light and just, oh my god. Just vert to the top of the drinks. We've been playing a lot of Risk of Rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good game.
It's a fantastic game. Yeah. I guess going down the list. False.
Mods,
Is it my turn?
Yeah, we're going down the list of favorite characters. I haven't checked out the mods. No.
I'm a mercenary main.
Yeah.
Mercenary is insanely good. A lot of people say he's too much work to play, but I love him. The movement. And also Loader. Tell them
Loader.
Loader.
Ethan likes movement, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Genji.
Oh.
Yeah.
Genji.
All right.
We
Tom's
order the questions when we to make them make sense.
Yeah. Slightly out of order, but yeah. And then Tom, have you played Risk of Rain 2?
Yeah, I like I don't know. What are they? Who can you play in that? Like Spider-Man or something?
Acrid. Yeah.
Loader. That's Loader.
Who?
Yeah, that's Loader.
Yeah, that's literally Loader.
Loader has like a grappling hook that lets him like swing.
Yeah, that one's
or
great.
lets her.
I played that like so many runs of that. Yeah, it's crazy. I love it.
Yeah. It's your favorite, yeah. I mean, the speedruns for the game use the Loader heavily. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, my favorite character, like, it's between like Bandit and I just like Bandit's damage. Like Bandit's damage is like really good. If you know how to play him. I don't know. Railgunner was really fun. And also the Engineer. Engineer is also pretty fun too. Just like getting a ton of items and just like having your turrets be like the most overpowered things. But I'm slowly going through all of them. I actually don't mind Artificer. Artificer is actually pretty good. I kind of got used to her. Yeah. But I don't know. I guess it really depends on like the run that I'm doing. Like if it's Monsoon with like Artifact of Command or something. I know to like 95% of the viewers that don't play like Risk of Rain, this makes absolutely no sense. We're literally just saying names and like okay. But yeah. That's where I'm currently at. Like I'm currently trying to play I'm trying to unlock everything. Because I'm like a completionist like that. But yeah, I'm trying to get like all the challenges for like Acrid and like Mercenary and stuff. So working on them. But yeah, so Bandit, kind of Railgunner, are my two, I'd say.
How about the secret character? The corrupted character.
It's a secret. Shh.
Yeah, I don't know the
Harry.
secret. Yeah, but
If
and then
you like doing this, I've come up with the weirdest key phrase.
oh God. dropping the keys. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then I guess last but not least, Nerdman. What's your take?
Mine's the same as false, but the other way around. I
Gotcha.
prefer loader,
Yeah.
but I'm also like assassin or whatever it's fucking. But like I do enjoy like the juggling sort of thing of both of those characters, like being able to do that sort of stuff, especially when on like loader, when you can start when you get like enough items that you can start chaining together the grapples and the charges and stuff like that, and you can just start juggling up like elite enemies and stuff like that. That's like my creme de la creme on Risk Arena 2 at the moment. But I'm sure it'll change in like no. I'll get bored of that in a couple hundred runs and go, it's gonna change now to
a couple hundred hours of gameplay later.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, Risk Arena 2, very, very good game. It's like, honestly, it's when I'm not coding, I've been playing. Yeah. So definitely check it out if you haven't. But yeah, I guess we'll move on. Thank you, FadedFrank, for that question. Hopefully that answers that.
Yeah, back on topic. Good thing you put it this early. Get it out of your system.
Yeah.
Sokaries asks, will the learn section go in depth with specific mechanics? I sure hope so.
Yes. So this was asked, I think, during the last Q&A stream or something. Anyway, yes, the learn section is planning to go pretty in depth with each like specific mechanic that exists for each mode. The goal is to make it teachable though. So like if there's like depth that needs to be written out, we still have the user interface that kind of explains. But if they're like the goal for learn is to play, like learn by playing, right? We want you to get in game and try the, a down air or something, right? Like stuff like that where it's good. It's one thing to like read it, right? And like, okay, but like once you see it in game, right? If you can read like maybe a paragraph and then get in game and do that paragraph, that's like the goal, right? With learn. So getting pretty in depth, we can definitely get in depth with the description of each of the learn like mechanics. But when it comes to like the actual gameplay, it has to be teachable through gameplay, right? Otherwise, it's more of like a glossary kind of thing, which we will also have in the game. We're gonna have a little glossary panel that will help you learn what each of like the acronyms and stuff are. So if you're ever confused on what CTAP means, right? Yeah. So stuff like that. So I think those two will go hand in hand. So obviously, as we develop learn and get it shipped out with the game, we want feedback, right? So if things aren't getting really taught well to where, and it sucks because like most of the people that are going to be trying it out know what they are, right now at least, but with it getting shipped with the game, you can eventually show it to people that might not know, and as we drop the game more and more through our playtests grants, we're getting more and more people that haven't tried all these modes. So we're hoping that the feedback comes through there, via our Discord, whether or not like these learn sections are doing the right thing and going in enough depth to be able to like convey what you're supposed to do. Because the idea isn't like getting it to perfection. It's to learn what it is and try to do it and accomplish it and then go and apply it to maps. So the Learn UI is missing, or there's going to be a section in the Learn UI that links to maps that have those mechanics. Yeah. And you can like preview what tier they are and stuff like that. So yeah, we're really looking forward to just getting all of the mechanics in with enough depth that like can cover all of like the base mechanics for 1.0, and then just as we're approaching 2.0, like getting it all fleshed out and covered. I mean, obviously we'll need as much help as we can get, not just making these and making sure that we're covering everything, but also making sure that the information is correct and we're covering the right topics with it too. So definitely give us feedback if things don't go in depth, or should go more in depth rather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just we need to getting past that just initial hurdle of like being in like a surf map for the first time and just not knowing like what am I even doing? Like it just can feel like the most like completely like opaque thing.
Yeah.
And so, you know, stuff like we've got the start of the bhop learn section in. I think Ninja's going to do some more work on it soon as well. The stuff like the initial section isn't even jumping; it's literally just like strafing and like a long thing and like a floaty bit.
Yeah.
Just because like that's you need to learn like that super basic stuff to like just to get over that initial hurdle, so you can then start playing some like tier 1 maps and stuff. And I think we just need to be. That being said, we really do want to like cover the advanced stuff. Like we don't see any reason to like if as long as some technique is distinct from other techniques, like we don't lose out on having a section for it, right? It's just we don't want to make it like completely oversaturated with like a ton of variations of the same thing, like as different techniques or something. But it kind of varies for different modes. Like some modes like sticky jump, there really are just a lot of different like quite specific things you can do. Like if you look at Hex's sticky jump things currently in game, some stuff like surf, like higher tier surf, gets a bit more complicated. And I think there, like you really do mostly just need to make the lower sides easier.
Yeah.
But you know, there's still like techniques in like higher tier surf, I guess, of like, you know, unit surf really well, head surfs, the other stuff. I barely ever play surf anymore.
Sokaries is in chat actually. He was I guess more wondering about like strafing and things like that, where like none of
I
the
see.
learn modes
Okay.
are going to be like very tailored per game mode. And I mean that's kind of, I don't know, maybe through my lack of understanding, but it seems like it's the vast majority of bhop, so it would just be like strafe training. And we do have like already have things for that. I don't know
we've
if
got some of that already. I personally think we can add to that quite a bit in that, like, just strength.
Yeah.
There's really a lot to it, and like they can probably just make further staging of what we currently have. But the one thing that comes up with us regularly is like, do we want to just merge stages from a certain mode together because they're very similar? Like surf and bhop do have different settings technically,
right.
so we probably will do separate maps for them. Partly just because it'll save you load time, because we don't want someone having to load into the bhop map for one stage and then go back to the surf one, probably. But like, sorry, just the best thing to look at is the current thing we've got on the bhop map if you want to see specific techniques, which is our sort of first attempt, and I think it's really pretty good. And this is Ninja Cookie doing all this like fancy map logic work. Like press certain keys down and like really be quite in your face about pressing the right key in the right place. We'll also potentially have more like bhop UI in the future. The current stuff being worked on is very much aimed towards like really high-end optimization.
Which could be taught in the harder mechanic section.
So maybe we'd do like an even like a baby bhop strafe training. We probably don't want to though. I think it's probably better to just like but say for defrag, we'll obviously have CGAS, which is a really useful teaching tool for basically beginner defraggers, because it is telling you basically where to look. We obviously won't have snap zones on by default. I mean, we're not having that game-wide snaps on by default, but like for beginner stuff, we might set like override the setting in the map. Maybe, I'm not sure how we'll do it, but we'll just have very basic CGAS, for instance, just to teach us super basic stuff. There's a lot of interesting stuff for defrag, especially in terms of teaching the basic mechanics. Like there's a really good web app thing that is really good for learning basic strafing for defrag.
We're very lucky that we have someone like Ninja Cookie.
Yeah.
Because she's just great at like so many different modes that like being
Oh,
involved
right.
to
Oh, well,
learn is
I was
just
gonna say great because of
fantastic.
the entity logic stuff, but also, yeah, also one of the
Yeah,
best
she's a
players.
great mapper and she's really good at all the game modes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, Ninja's,
Yeah.
I think, probably the best A hopper in the game, which is quite funny because hasn't
Right.
played up by two.
Nowhere. Some people are just born to game.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully this helps explain this or answer this, because yeah, I like each mode can have, and that's why we separate it all, because like each mode has slight differences, right? Like bhop's tick rate versus surf and the air accel and things like that. So being able to teach each of these mechanics like in each learn section, like, hey, like this mode has these settings and that's what that, this is what that means, like breaking it down more for like just learning about like but like you don't really care that we have 100,000 max spell or like some like that doesn't really matter. What really matters is maybe more towards tick rate or things that affect your actions that you can do, like the air stopping in jump modes compared to like surf or bunny hop, where if you tap S you're dead stopped. Right. So there's differences like that that we can go into depth about as well. So but yeah, like the goal with the learn section is to just progress somebody through all of the mechanics of the mode, not overwhelm, right? So having the sprawling list of things to learn, it could be overwhelming, but starting with like, oh, hey, you're like the beginner and like easy things to learn, that could be focused on and really highlighted. So yeah. Cool. All right. Any other input for this question? All right. Thank you for that question. We'll move on to the next one.
Yeah, royex asked, Gocnak started the game with this desire to beat Surf Omnific. Did he beat it since it was created?
It's a very, very good question.
Is the game done yet? That's probably when you'll beat it, right?
So, yes, I did beat it a long time ago in an earlier version when we just added tick rate, and I was on 100 tick. So I have not beaten Surf LT Omnific on 66 tick. I can get to stage 14 though, so I just have to grind the last 4, and
wow,
I gotta wait until I'm able to, which is cough 1.0, cough. But yes, so absolutely, that's what's driving me. This question is so important because this is the reason why I'm making the game. I need to beat Surf LT Omnific, and momentum needs to exist for me to be able to do this. So
it's a lot of work just to do the map.
So yeah, I mean, it's worth it though. I think other people get to also beat Omnific faster than I will. Then I delete the game after I beat it. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so hopefully that helps answer that. So I have beaten the map, but I haven't beaten it legitimately. I'm just kidding. On 66 tick, which is what it was designed for. So we'll see. We'll see when the game drops with 1.0. Set a time on there. In terms of no fail, I don't think I'll go for a no fail. That is a serious grind.
God, that's really tough.
But yeah, but Kurt might.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch Kurt go for the no fail again with like 1.0 released. Oh man, I'm pumped. I'm pumped to see just like the streams and stuff of the game. I like, again, it's always brought up. Like I don't know if I'm going to be watching people play the game or playing it myself. Like it'll probably have to be both at the same time. Just have somebody stream up, or I'll be streaming it. I don't know. Yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm so pumped for the release. But yeah, all right. Thank you, royex, for that question. We'll move on to the next one.
NotEagle asks, will RNG based entities like funk rotating, move linear, etc. be reliable and predictable? Like something like leaving the start zone, causing one of these moving props to kind of snap in place predictably. So I don't know if we have decided on anything yet. You could definitely do this as a mapper. We'll have like a NV entity or something that will like fire outputs for when you start a map run, and then you can kind of use that to reset all like the moving elements. Or we could figure a way to do it in code, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it might be better in mapping, but I don't know.
I mean, it could be a system that's that like is more opt into. So like, yeah, with a map, right now our stance has been just kind of like freeze all the moving elements just to make it consistent. But but yeah, the goal for I wish it wasn't like categorized as RNG, because it's not really random. It's a constant moving, but it's cycle based, if that makes sense. So it's not RNG. It's just cycle based, and you have to get the right cycle. So making the cycles consistent is something we want to explore. Like, we want moving elements and maps, and we want to make sure that the map is like consistent to where, in this example, where if you get to a spot, the pattern, right, or whatever of the movement is predictable, right? So if you get there consistently at that time, you'll know where to jump or something like that. And that's the main thing, right? But the thing to keep in mind is this starts to funnel what you can do in a map, because you have to get to a specific point at a specific time, which is cool, but like that, it very much puts it on. It's like the start of like Great White, right, with the shark that goes around in the map. Like you have to get the cycle, like, and so it's like if you don't get that cycle, you either could waste time or you lose runs, even though you were there, right? Like if it was like frozen in place or whatever, you would have gotten it. So it's kind of like an antiquated map design, because it's just like it. In my opinion, it really restricts what players can route, because if you have to be at a specific like angle or position at a specific time, you know, if you're faster than that time, then you have to adjust. And does that ruin your route? Does that, you know, cause a shortcut to not be possible or something? You don't know, right? Like, so it's more of just like we'll try to support in our best effort, making cycle-based entities consistent, making it hook into the timer, and maybe have like a key value for the entity when it gets created, to where when it spawns, it uses that angle or position of, you know, wherever it is, as the starting, right? So like if you exit the start zone, it resets back to maybe the way you placed it in the map. So then that way it's consistent, you know, like how to position things and what the timing should be. But again, right, it's gonna funnel routes through to a specific point. And I mean, it's not unplayable, right? You know, it's still, but you're gonna see people maybe deliberately slow down, and that always sucks. That's a terrible feeling in speedruns and stuff if you have to slow down. I mean, well, I guess it's not the worst. It sucks. It's a terrible feeling that you have to like, oh, I'm going too fast. You know, whereas momentum's like go fast, go as fast as you possibly can, right? So, yeah. But hopefully this,
gross to have, but they're probably going to be in Rocket Jump, maybe. So.
Yeah.
Rocket Jump's kind of like dumping grounds. Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Linguist asks in chat. I don't know if anyone here has played Speedrunners from Hell.
No, I've seen it a bit.
I've played it. Yeah, just asking if we've taken any inspiration. Not so much. I think we're much more
Trackmania.
taking inspiration for Trackmania. I was gonna say that. That's a lot more like our game. Than CM. CM's a lot of moving things and cycle based. Yeah.
Yeah, I like I know games are designed around it too, because there's like when you have an obstacle course, yeah, like part of the obstacle course could be something that moves. But I always think cycle based stuff is really tedious. And
Yeah,
Oh,
I didn't finish that game because I didn't like the cycle base.
yeah, and it's like it's not even random. It's like it's just strict. It's almost like you have to do a specific thing, and it's like it can really limit your options. So we'll recommend against it, but we could have a system in place that hooks automatically into the start zone. So code wise, we just reset your entities for you if you opted in with the key value. Our map review is going to lean towards that too. Like we're not going to allow any cycle based entities that don't reset consistently. We will reject maps that do that. Or tell them at least, tell the mapper to make it consistent. So yeah, that's the main thing. If we can make things consistent, that's the focus, right? That's what momentum, just a consistent experience when you're playing maps and game modes, right? So
yeah,
cool. Any other input for this question?
no.
All right. Thank you, NotEagle, for this question. We'll move on to the next.
Ofen says, will there be a key added that can restart you to any zone no matter what? Key value?
So I had to shorten this down. I think this is asking more about like, so we have mom restart and mom restart stage. So I think this is asking, is there a key or is there a command that'll exist that can teleport you back to any zone no matter what? So it's like, I guess there's like the /s like stage, right? Like chat command, something like that, I guess, but for linear maps as well, I think, is what I was kind of gathering.
Yeah.
So yeah, what was that?
One of the things I've always found annoying about Momentum Mod and never really understood was why. I think on like other servers I played on like KSF and like Resurfed and stuff, if you press your stage restart bind on a linear map, it will reset you. I think that might be what Often's talking about. I just went and looked at the question in the channel because people have asked about this before, and I don't think we said this in the Q&A, but I've always thought that's really useful, right? Because that just means that my brain's gone blank. That what am I talking about? Sorry, I was getting distracted by Bro spamming keys.
Sorry.
Pressing a restart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're normally like, if you're on like it's okay, well, it's kind of going to overlap with safeguards anyway. So I think like the way when we've changed safeguard stuff, which we'll do in the future, this will be a bit better anyway. But if you having the one bind is going to take you to this, if you're not doing like runs of whole maps, but you just want to be regularly resetting the stage you're on, generally you're going to be using the same key all the time, whether you're on a linear or a staged map. So it does make sense for your linear reset, your stage reset bind to reset you on linears. And I've never understood why some people didn't want that. I think there was someone did a pull request a while ago that like removed it or something and gave some
I think it
questions.
was me.
Oh yeah, and I'm not sure what the motivation ever was, but I think I'm not
People
sure
said they didn't want
it
it,
was you or like the.
Can't
'Cause
remember.
I think the first time I played Momentum, I remember noticing this and being like, oh, "This is not like when I was, playing on like other servers. Why can't I just do this?" So yeah, I've always thought it should be by any zone. I don't know. I think that might be what often means is any zone is in like the last zone that like you were in.
Yeah.
So if you're on the stage, it resets you to that stage. If you're on a linear, it resets you to linear. That's like a one-line change, I think. So I think we should just do that. Right now, it will still tell you, oh, you can't use this bind on a linear map. Like it gives you a little alert, and it's like, why not?
There's
Like,
also we could try to consolidate it down to like if you press reset or the restart, it goes back to the stage trigger, and if you're in the stage trigger and you hit restart, it goes back to start.
Yeah.
There was like
No.
there was
No, I
that kind
think
of
that would
idea.
mean people would
Double
accidentally
press?
reset.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of get why that would be nice, but one thing that
You
is
need a
important.
UI UX person.
Well, one thing, we will be changing safeguards in the future, because right now safeguards are a bit weird. Especially the fact that like the double press one spams you even if you're double pressing it, because it tells you the first time that you need to press it twice to reset. We have a better idea of how to do safeguards. I think we'll do I forget if it's 092 or 3, is one of the two.
Yeah.
And so we'll probably have a little time-based spinner where you have a setting that lets you set how long that spinner takes to tick up, and after you do the whole spin, then it resets. Maybe it's a spinner, maybe it's a line that goes across, whatever. And we'll have an option so the stage one can be much shorter or longer than the map one, which is personally what I really want, because like I'm much more concerned about accidentally resetting a stage than I am doing like the whole map.
Yeah.
And then if you're actually on a linear map, you just make the stage one behave as the linear one would and take the same amount of time. But maybe yeah, if you could do it so it would reset you in if you press it on the stage you're on, and that would allow just one bind. Yeah, I think we just have to find a way of making it very easy to not accidentally completely reset yourself.
Yeah,
that's like the main thing you really want to avoid.
Yeah.
But,
add an undo.
Yeah.
No, undo's not the answer. Prevention's the best. The best way.
Yeah, obviously.
Now we have much better UI. It's easier to make the stuff we want. So
yeah, much better UI, and I mean we'll iterate it. And plus, now that we have the different modes that have different behaviors from servers, it can help guide us to choose the right option here. But I mean, the main thing is just preventing people from resetting accidentally is the main reason why, we don't have one key that does it all or whatever. And, safeguards definitely need to be more fleshed out because, like if you're grinding the start of a run or something, it doesn't matter. like if you're 3 seconds into the run, who cares if you reset? But like when you're like 5 minutes in or like looking at maybe the world record time, looking at what stages you're on, we can have thresholds that the safeguards start to apply for run reset or whatever when you're past a certain like threshold. So like over 50% of the map complete, or over 5 minutes of time have passed, do the safeguard, and then that way it's like we can have the different modes there with press and hold, which will probably be the default. Double tap, we could do things like you press and it pops open a static HUD menu, and then you have to confirm by pressing another key. So it's almost like double tap, but you have to press another one, so if you don't accidentally slap your keyboard twice, it'll do it. So things like that, we'll be looking into expanding the safeguards. But yeah, it'll be interesting to explore making the resetting process for both world record grinders and just casual PB improvers. Trying to just get better times, see how best to bind keys for that, and like what workflow works for them.
The other thing I did want to mention is that I'm still not sure what the rocket jumpers and whatnot are at in terms of being able to reset stages that instantly take you back to the start of the stage.
I hate it.
Which is really annoying, because
it
then we potentially have to have different behavior for different modes, kind of for arbitrary reasons.
We might have to take the reins on that one, make an executive decision, and just make it possible. Because we do also want to be able to teleport to linear like checkpoints.
Well,
I mean, if we're gonna do that, then we'll probably have to revamp it. Because like, if we do that, like the jump should be stages, right?
So
I've been kind of thinking like, we kind of need idea of like a course that's not just kind of reusing a stage thing that we already have.
So I always think of like Jump Bomb, for instance, where which is a rocket jump map where there's no speed conserved between the two stages. Right? There's no connectors. In those cases, like in Surf, then it kind of makes sense to let you reset back to the first stage. I guess in Surf, like even in like maps like Ace or whatever, or Omnific, like you can keep speed between connectors, but you can still reset the stage, but you're always going to lose time doing that. Personally, I don't see why you wouldn't want to be able to do a fast reset on like a staged rocket jump map. But it's that I think the source of that is strain between like the stage linear distinction that works very well in Surf, bhop. Actually, Conk really clearly. I think if you look at conk maps, like a lot of them have clear like stage lineations. Well, things, yeah, but you can just delete the entities, like if you
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Like,
entities all delete whenever you hit any line like that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Existing explosives won't matter.
The problem is like
the main
mentality.
thing
it takes
like
more time to land and start the next jump than it does
yeah, right.
to
So the
just
argument,
go through it and then hit the bind and go back.
so the argument Hex is made,
Yeah.
and again, I disagree with Hex here, but I'll try to give it like the best, fairest explanation. I think is that because rocket jump maps tend to be a lot longer, and like tier 6 rocket jump, like will have a lot of fails and stuff in, even like world record can, as far as I know. Then you're going to see world record runs that have those resets in, and that's ugly. Personally, I don't care. I think like people are going to be used to seeing resets and stuff in places, and like I don't know who you're really. It's kind of it's a cultural thing where like the jumpers don't like it, the surfers, b-hoppers and stuff. I think probably do prefer it. I personally much prefer it because I really dislike just waiting as I'm falling through the air if I fail a jump. But
failing Hanami last and just
if necessary,
waiting.
I guess we could make it
Fall.
so you can just the reset stage behavior just doesn't work on like rocket jump and sticky jump, but that's a disparity that's really unpleasant.
I mean,
yeah, there is. I guess it feels
sticky jump is different too. Like I feel like rocket jump and sticky jump may diverge, even though they're both jump. Even right now, it's like, what are we doing about head bugs? Well, I mean, I don't think we should have head bugs in sticky jump, but people in rocket jump want it. So yeah, it's a lot of
that's a really good point.
Walk it on ice, shoot ice.
Yeah.
But also make the telly taller. Yeah, that's been one of the arguments. Again, this discussion has been had quite a lot, and I think there are quite good cases on both sides into like why you might not want it. But it's very hard to make it completely.
Well, people are going to ask, why is this mode different?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So
we had in some area, in some place, we kind of have to bite the bullet here. I don't think there's some.
Yeah, that's what I mean by the executive decision. But so yeah, I mean the like overall goal for how the game behaves, right? So like how different modes feel different, right? Is explained through movement, right? Like it's sourced from different source games. So like jump and so on feel different because in those games you have that accel. The modes were designed with these in mind. Alternate tick rates and so on will be available, but they won't be the ranked like the default competitive leaderboard. But when it comes to like decisions like this, to kind of bring the idea of resetting if you mess up or something under the same boat, because there will be surfers that try jump and then they hit the reset bind and they go back to the start of the map. So it's like, like there will be people that like very quickly learn that like, oh, they have to watch as their character falls all the way to the teleport trigger at the bottom of the map. You can make the teleport trigger taller, but there are maps that have like larger like chasm sink areas and stuff where you have to fall a while, and it's going to take a while before you hit the ground and then can teleport back up versus just hitting a key that deletes your rockets and now you're all the way back at the top. And it still counts that time. It still counts that as part of your run. It's just so like.
Keep in mind, this isn't the thing for most maps. Is that still most rocket jump maps do have connectors and are still linear.
Linear.
So you wouldn't be able to do the reset anyway.
Right.
So in a sense, like not letting you do the reset like you can in Surf would kind of make the linear and the stage map a bit more similar in that. Otherwise, you're going to get a weird distinction in that if it is staged, then you can reset much faster for what might feel like a bit of an arbitrary reason.
Yeah, but I mean, even the terminology around stage and checkpoints is going to change too, because stages will be able to have checkpoints, and then in jump, stages are technically courses, and then we'll be able to teleport to checkpoints. So yeah, like we're going to probably update the terminology one last time to make them clear. Maybe we could even have it just like signified by the zoner, where it's like if it's a course, you set that specific so you create zones. Like that's a ubiquitous term of like every trigger, right, that is timer related, and then you label the zones, and then the hierarchy of it is specific. So it's like stages can have checkpoints. You can have a course instead of a stage. Like we can have that be customizable per the. And this is very topical because 0.10 is our new zone format update. So
but then you get complicated. Like, what if you have a course that has stages? Because if you're on, say, I want to say jump like Cuba, a map, I think if I'm getting it right, which has
Yeah.
3 courses, but the stages themselves you can't preserve velocity between them, meaning that they really do function as stages rather than checkpoints, in my opinion. I think that is still a clear distinction. Hex disagrees with me. I think it's actually a clear one.
It's true.
That stage and checkpoint are different precisely in one you keep speed and entities, and in the other you don't. And that's an absolute distinction. I think that works. So, but I think then you could get a course staged, and then I don't know if you could have checkpoints as well, but you could have some weird so it's complicated. But
it's really good discussion.
Way more, and will really solidify it. So.
Yeah, it is really good discussion that we should definitely continue to have. But we do need to get to the other questions.
Yes.
So we'll move on from this, but zones resetting and the naming and behavior of the zones themselves, that's going to be things that we're going to be iterating on and trying to solidify by 0.10, because 0.10 is going to be our zone update with new zoning tools, which will help with classifying all of these different zones. And ideally the behavior is consistent across all of the modes, so that you don't have to remember, I'm in rocket jump, so I don't get to have fun, and you can't reset back or something. So stuff like that. Anyway, hopefully that part before we went off on that tangent answers Ofen. We'll be continuing this discussion probably throughout the next month or two as we approach 0.10. So cool.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on.
Yeah. Weatherman 115 asks, will there be trick support on official maps from mounted games? CSGO.
So this is actually a really interesting question, because I actually didn't even think about this before. Trick surf or the trick modes, being able to add triggers to any map technically and be able to do arbitrary paths through the triggers. It's trick surf, trick, bhop, whatever. So sourcing maps, right? The problem with that is that our map selector is kind of what guarantees a map has leaderboards. It has to be in our system.
Yeah.
The problem now, if we could make it so that the map file itself has a source, information around it, has where you get this map. So if we have maps, and the majority of the maps are just uploaded to our map selector, but if we have maps submitted and we say that the source of the map file is mounted from a game, we could do that. The problem becomes you need those games in order to play them. So while it's not impossible, because everything is definitely possible local, you can always do stuff locally, we're going to have to figure out how best to convey that you need games mounted to actually just straight up play the map. We won't be able to upload CSGO maps or CSS maps to our map selector because they're not ours, they're Valve's, and we would want to mount them anyway from the game, depots. So it is a really interesting, intriguing idea to try to explore. Maybe if the maps show enough value in terms of the tricks that you can do on them, because a lot of Valve maps are really closed. Really closed. There's a ton of invisible walls and stuff, because especially CSS maps, they're pretty closed off, and it's kind of limited on what you can do on them. But things like the danger zone maps, they're pretty big. You could have some fun conk tricks maybe, but it's gonna have to be a map by map basis, and then we have to see what kind of content can exist on them. But you can definitely always do it locally. So you can always make a local trick list for a local CSGO map or something.
Yeah,
The first thing when I heard like trick jump would be like, hey, you go on Badlands and you make a bunch of tricks, because I mean there's already a jump competitive, right? That takes a lot of
the rollouts, right?
Like, the rollouts. So yeah, you could do that.
Yeah. So you get to practice rollouts.
Yeah.
The thing that comes to mind for me is the only way that really makes sense. Like I think a lot of people would play would be CSS and CS:GO maps in Climb. Which I think we could do, but in that case, don't we want to just do like a coast kind of port potentially and not require the textures even? I don't know. Or I just feel like, is there even that much to do on any of the maps? It's like,
that's what I mean. Yeah, we would have to go map by map and see what's there, because it's mainly going to be bunny hop, and then even then it's going to just be kind of like the
most. I mean, bhop, like, yeah, I don't know what the point really is, because like on none of these maps, I guess in TF2, Rocky Jump, Sticky Jump, you do have the modes like matter. Sorry, you have the actual movement. In bhop and Climb, you obviously have different movement from you regularly have in CS:GO, so you're not like practicing like CS:GO Climb, like
but it could be fun, like if there are open maps like Danger Zone, like having routes through them. So like I could see some maps like the Danger Zone maps potentially being trick maps, and then we just have to solve. And my blog post, which is also a question, my future blog post can talk about map sources more in detail, because the map momentum asset atlas is going to be part of that. If we can source things from your local installs, the game will prefer to do that. So yeah, it depends, I guess, is the kind of like TLDR answer. It depends on the map. But always yes locally. Always locally, yes. So, any other input for Weatherman's question? Cool. Thank you for that intriguing question. We'll move on to the next.
Yeah, good question. Riot asks, how will the campaign explain the differences in mechanics between different game modes? For example, accel and bhop versus surf, versus RJ versus defrag.
It won't.
I guess more of a learn thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the learn section will. The campaign's going to be more of a muted tutorial experience, where it's like we have a similar to like the beginner to like easy mechanics, but kind of melded in a way that makes sense to the story, or kind of just like the situation that you'll find yourself in when you first start up the campaign. For each mode, we will not have a little pop-up, or like if we have any characters, they won't be like, did you know you're on 15 Ericsson? Like, you know, like we won't have that.
The technical stuff, yeah.
So it's like it's more. What was it?
We're gonna have weekly.
Yes, we did confirm.
We got that from Valve.
We got that from Valve. No, but we're gonna try to have more gameplay and environmental storytelling than the more technical side that the learn section would do. So if you want to know the difference between the different accel and bhop versus all the, you know, like that's where the learn section will really shine, because it'll talk about that and what that means, and then there will even probably be a playable segment that shows you, oh yeah, you can spin really fast or stop really quickly in the air. So like stuff like that just kind of shows you what that means, versus the campaign where it's going to be like guiding you through like just doing like strafing and stuff, like, you know, like we don't really care that you know what, like, oh, you can scroll or auto hop, like, you know, like we don't care. We're just gonna say, hey, press space, and like, you know, this is all the Wheatley's gonna tell you is to press space and move your mouse. You don't even have to press A or D. Anyway, sorry. Yeah. So we're going to try our best to make it more of a like really easy flow for somebody new to the game to go into the campaign and just kind of learn through playing without having any user interface popping up and saying, hey, this is what this is. Just kind of learn through playing, and then learn by doing, but with all of the individual levels. Campaign stuff, it's going to be awesome. Like it's right now on the back burner because 1.0 is significantly more important. But it is going to be awesome. Like we have a lot of plans on how like all of the campaigns will work. So thank you, Riot, for this question. Was there any other input for it?
No.
Cool.
All right.
Done.
Jason asks, with it almost being halfway in the year, how reasonable is the 2022 release date looking? Should I start taking bets for 2023?
So 091 was the biggest the biggest like feature set because of just how much work was involved with learning the new user interface framework, writing our first couple panels, rewriting our first couple panels after we learned how to do it better. And I mean, even still, there's actually quite a couple of panels that are really heavily C++ based when they don't need to be. So there's still some rewriting that needs to be done. Wow. But the goal with 091 was to rewrite basically all of our main user interface. That took a while, mainly because of just like we had to rewrite like more than just the like what you see. It's also the systems underneath it. So that's why it took so long, and it was a lot of user interface. I mean, it's a lot of lot of HUD. It was remaking all of it.
It's like It's not. It's just in terms of the overall amount of stuff we had to make in terms of just like raw programmer outlets. Like there's nothing that really compares to it, right?
And like, it wasn't even our things. It was like also Valve things. Like now we have to do like the game instructor and
really hard.
Game text, right? Yeah, console. Yeah, it was
console was that was BLT tackled that one. And so so that's why 091 took so long. But with that out of the way now, we have not only the user interface framework in place, we're getting 3 more licensed developers. We're moving forward into 092 and 093, which are by default just smaller. Like each of them are under half the amount of cards that 091 had. Like there's 70 to maybe 60 cards in each in 092, and then 093 like both combined or not combined individually. So like I think we're getting to 010 probably pretty quickly. Like I'd say, I want to say like maybe a month or 2 from now, but don't hold me to that.
I really like emphatically. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
Yeah,
you continue.
I was just gonna say that 010 and 011 and like anti-cheat are like the last 3 like big things left. And not only that, they aren't the same scope as Panorama rewriting. Like replay refactor is like 2 systems that have user interface, but it's all hooked up already, like the replay UI and stuff. So it's just a matter of exposing more data that we would also be recording in the replays. And then the zoning tools and the zoning format just need to be decided on and then implemented. So like these refactors, which are extremely paramount to the game's like core like systems, or like the core of the game really, are what's left. Like in terms of like needed, like straight up needed. Like zone refactor, replay refactor, which we gotta wipe for those, and then anti-cheat are like the 3 main things. But the other part of this is like, obviously all of our developers can't swarm one of the the zone format. We can all give input on how the format should be and like just give like make sure it's like all the best. But like when it comes to implementing it, maybe 1 or 2 developers at most. We have like 8 or 9. I think we're bumping over 10 now with these 3 that we're adding, right? Oh, and then we added JJ and Aaron too. So yeah, we're like over 10 developers. And so we have these 3 things. So like on top of all of that, we can start to like at least start to include other things into it. That's not going to take as much time. So like we have a lot of mapping entities that people are gonna like work on for 010 updates. We have a lot of like comparisons and like what data, what stats we want to collect for O11, because that's going to go in the new like framework or in the new replay format, and then submitted to the site as well. So like a lot of this is like swarmed by the rest of the like, or not the rest, but like other members on the coding team. So realistically, right, if we can get to O10 within a couple of months and O11 a couple of months after that, right, we're working on anti-cheat after that. And then whatever's left in terms of like, okay, we could look at, I mean, yeah, we want to try to get TrickSurf in for TrickSurf is a pre 1.0 game mode, and then we also want to get an initial cosmetic system, but maybe not any cosmetics. We'll see how it goes. We want to make sure we launch the cosmetic system with cosmetics. Otherwise, you're gonna get like everything first day and then be like, all right, where is everything else? So we got to make sure that we're gonna probably reach out to the community and see. If people want to make some cosmetics and have cosmetic ideas for the various like models and stuff that we have and can replace. So yeah, that's the whole idea, right? So O11, right, being the replay refactor, and then there's O12 and O13, with O13 kind of being where anti-cheat will land, like that'll be when it's implemented. And then yeah, once we get all of those in place, it's just a matter of polish. So getting localization is going to be another one. The more that we rely on kind of outside efforts, the more that it could be delayed. So this also extends over to our infrastructure. If we're ever reliant on people that can't deliver infrastructure, it causes delays. And that's like, we got to minimize that. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. I've been heavily investigating all of the cloud related like hosting and everything to make sure that we can do a scalable launch of the backend, because holy fuck, I don't have no idea how many people are going to be playing the game 1.0, and it gives me a lot of anxiety, but also like it makes me really excited, because like we're going to be designed, like it's in our minds in the forefront. We're not, our one OVH, one core, VPS is going to handle everything for 1.0. It's like, oh yeah, I know like what services I'm going to probably look into doing, like Fly IO or something for our backend, which scales across regions. Like, so there's options, and like I'm really excited to get all of it in place and see how it works for the playtesters, like the couple hundred that we have every day right now, to the, once we start allowing more and more people in, seeing how that works, and then getting kind of just all of the like anti-cheat like testing in place as well. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. But I don't know. So like O10 and O11 are a couple months apart from each other from now. And yeah, I mean, we're gonna be gung-ho working on all. So O92 is a bunch of Panorama improvements, O93 a bunch of gameplay fixes and stuff like that, miscellaneous bugs. And then basically once we hit O93, once we start to work towards O93 is when I'll be jumping over to the zone format stuff. So and then we have the backend. We have to deploy the backend. So our website needs rewritten, which is that's happening in parallel. So yeah, just kind of outlining that. So website work happening in parallel. Game work I just outlined with O9, O10, O11, or sorry, O10 and O11 and anti-cheat. And then there's deploying the website, but that's waiting for the backend to be rewritten and done. Our front end's all handled. It's literally just backend and database and storage. Well, storage is also handled. We're using S3 or Backblaze, but yeah. So like really, it's just scaling the API and making sure our database can handle the scaling. There's even scalable databases that we could use, but I don't know. All of them are really buzzwordy. Anyway, so getting towards the 2022 1.0, it is possible. Like I genuinely believe it's possible. The problem becomes you can't predict the future, and like I don't know. Like I don't know if people will get really busy or really free with like school or work or anything like that pops up. So it's really hard to estimate it, because again, we're all doing this in our free time, and we can't really guarantee anything because shit happens. But I mean, I'm pretty optimistic about 2022. It would be a nice Christmas present. Like end of the year, like launching the end of the year when everybody's off and can enjoy 1.0. You could take time off work and just have like a release party basically. So yeah, should you start taking bets for 2023? I mean, if you want to
wait to see how 091, 092 and 3 come. Because
yes,
what we're really aiming for is to really push through his loads and be super productive on that. And if we can just churn through those easy issues and get those done pretty soon, like I think the overall pace of work is going to look a lot more promising than it has lately. Because right now, I mean, it's taken like 9-10 months or whatever to do this one milestone. But I mean, once we can actually show like just how big this milestone has been compared to the other ones, I think like stuff will look a lot more promising. Could I just get to the back end rewrite thing really quick that Excel I was saying?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of related. We don't have an ETA. If people want to get involved with that, we're not opposed to that. It just means learning quite a big tech stack at once. But you're welcome to either message us or fill out the form that's in announcements if you scroll up a bit for web stuff. Me and Alex are quite happy onboarding people. We're going to be thinking about that more in the near future. The rewrite's quite boring because there's just a lot of like technical stuff like tests, which just take a while. But we are actually getting there. So, and we're very proud of it actually. What we have is actually really solid. So if people want to get involved with that, they should, because that actually will speed up the pace of stuff. Right now, I could be doing more game related stuff, but I'm prioritizing website. But I am about to get licensed, and I'd love to have the API done as soon as possible so I can jump over to doing game work again, because that will help get the game out faster. So, yeah.
Sorry about the banging noise. We got family over. So I'm definitely looking forward to if there's more help that we can get towards, because I mean, we also want to try to get the Discord public bot and Twitch public bot ready and shipped as well. And those are just a matter of the backend rewrite being done and exposing API to those things so that it can be rewritten. Like there's so much that could be swarmed and done in parallel that like I think just as we approach 1.0, it just all comes to a head and we drop. It's gonna be really weird as we like right now it's like we're really thinking about it because it's coming, but like once we're out of the replay refactor, it's like it'll feel like the next update. It's gonna be really weird, a really weird time. But definitely good point on that. Just wait and see how 092 and 3 drop, and how 010 and the 010 updates go, because 010, I think the 010 board has like 200 cards on it that I have to split out into like 010-0 being the zoning related cards, and then 010-1 being like entities, and then like we could flip the two. But anyway, we got a lot of great stuff coming. So it's
a hard question to answer.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's good to be transparent about it though, because it's like if we are falling behind because people are falling into work or school or something, we can be upfront about that. But it's like it definitely reflects on how well the project is organized, to where the people that have time should be doing the bigger. I hope they're okay up there. I have my little 1-year-old nephew over, and he's hopefully not tripping and falling a bunch. But anyway, so we'll just see. We'll see how the prioritization of work goes. We definitely have really great efforts being put towards bigger and bigger things. Slidey in general is picking up a lot of bigger cards, especially even like the map review tool. So like we have to get all the map reviewing stuff in place for all of the map renaissance that's going to be coming with 010-0 or 010 updates. So we're gonna drop the new zone format, start bringing on zoners. We're also gonna start localization efforts this update. So be on the lookout for that if you want to help translate. It'll be fun to see how much can actually be translated, because there's a lot of acronyms and like how do you translate everything? Anyway, yeah. So a lot of parallelized work. Yeah. I'm really relieved to have 091 out. It's been huge, and
It's the weight off our shoulders.
Yeah. It's all progress. So yeah. All right. Any other input for Jason's question? Cool. Thank you so much for that question. We'll move on to the next.
Yeah. Tofu asks, what kind of work goes into a remake / port as large as AHOP Coast, which we didn't make?
Yeah.
Probably a lot. Yeah. If Embellis is in chat.
I was scrolling through chat. I don't think he's here.
Okay. That's rare, actually. I hope they're okay. But Embellis is the creator of AHOP Coast. I would assume a lot. It took Embellis months to get it all stitched together, and compiling and not be bugged, and fixing all of the weird like displacement clipping collision, because it's coast and you should be driving the car and not fucking A-hopping everywhere. So yeah, very fun. But it is definitely a really, really fun A-hop map and really nostalgic, and makes me really happy that it got in, because there's AHOP Coast and AHOP Canals are the two that I'm really looking forward to playing through.
Canals would be so good.
Yeah, so we'll see, but it is usually a lot of work, because yeah, you gotta get all the maps, stitch them together, test the living shit out of it. The compiling limits, I mean, we're trying to raise a lot of raising a lot of limits, including grid size. So we're gonna try to approach like making AHOP Coast like maps easier, at least for mappers to get into the game and testing things. But yeah, they can definitely, if you can message them through Discord, you can get the answer more in depth for this one. But definitely a lot of effort, but it is absolutely commendable.
Yeah, I miss Embellis. Haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah. Any other input for Tofu's question?
The limit improvements should make it easier, but ultimately, like, you do have to spend a lot of time just cleaning up displacements and clipping, which is really tedious work.
And then do you add portals for the connectors and things
I would love
that?
to see canals. So canals for me is like it's even stupider than coast. Like coast is kind of like the same version of canals in a way. Kind of like HL2 runs.
Yeah.
Canals is ridiculous. So we won't have the goo damage, unfortunately.
The goo.
Yeah, it's all water now. But
I mean, if we had goo damage, we could actually. It might not be like a tier 1 or whatever, like coasters. You wouldn't be able to walk.
You just fucking die.
Like Coast 09, the tunnel strat. Ugh.
Yeah.
Full boat.
You have to use the boat. Yeah. We're gonna re-add vehicles into momentum.
That's my favorite HL2 movement category, is full boated, which is where you can bind a key to CH create airboat or whatever, and you have to try to beat the run. It's like clipping through walls with the airboat.
That's my favorite way to play Portal.
I did TS01 with that. That was fun.
God.
Doing that in momentum.
Yeah. Unfortunate. All right. Thank you, Tofu, for this question. We'll move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Also by Tofu.
Tofu again. Yeah. Will the campaign maps have a more grounded / realistic map style, or more surreal like most movement maps? So is Ethan here?
Hi.
Well,
yeah. I was about to say.
You've not been in some of those meetings, though, right?
I haven't actually, no. But
I think a lot of that's been Egok and so far.
We don't want to have like a realistic, as in like because of these game modes.
Yeah.
It's incredibly difficult to make like realistic geometry that also works for movement modes.
Right. You can't. There's
Source?
just no way you can have like
Yeah, it just won't be
ramps that are
good.
made out of hills or whatever for surf. It just
Yeah.
doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
But we aren't gonna. It's not gonna be like dev or just block.
Fine.
Well, I don't know. A
We'll
lot of
see.
stuff
Maybe
works.
one world might.
But surreal is a really interesting word here because I'd say there's probably surreal might be quite a good word for some of it in that it will be
Yeah.
sort of bordering on reality, but has a sort of
Style.
or a sort of hyper reality, you might sort of say,
Yeah.
is kind of the
Yeah.
way we're going with it. But we'll see. We have a bunch of shader stuff that we can take advantage of that existing maps don't, and we
And
have
even
full
more.
engine, so we can do
Yeah.
all this fancy shit if we want. If we really want to, we won't. It won't be ray traced or something.
Yeah.
Very unlikely we'll have Vulkan by then or whatever. But we'll be able to do a lot more graphically if we want. And so yeah.
Yeah, the idea with the campaign though is to create areas that are something. It's not just a pretty like I don't know. I guess like a lot of maps can just be like, oh, this is a pretty aesthetic, but we want
Yeah.
to create a thing.
Yeah,
that
and
you
to the
can sort
extent
of
that we
recognize.
want the campaign to have a really solid storyline, we want it to sort of be doing that insofar as it's through environmental storytelling and interesting world building as opposed to Wheatley talking to you or like my it's kind of like my like sort of mantra for campaign writing is it's sort of turned into is no GLaDOS. I don't want GLaDOS. So I don't know. Like whatever the style is, it should be one that allows us to like actually do world building and do storytelling through that, as opposed to something arbitrary or just pretty for the sake of it.
Like Oreo 64, something like that.
Yeah.
No one knows what I'm talking about. Okay.
I'm smiling. Yeah. Oh, you jump Oreo.
Oh no.
Oreo topless.
Oreo topless.
Whole line of
there we go. Yeah, don't play Oreo topless if you don't want spoilers. Or if you do want spoilers. Anyway, yeah. So I guess my bit on this is it's source isn't really good for making realistic looking maps anyway. Like we're not, if we're source 2 maybe, right? Like
you're not doing cutting edge realism.
But we're not doing cutting edge realism. So yeah, more surreal, but like again, like we want to make it make sense for each of the worlds in the campaign. Yeah, we'll be fleshing out and maybe starting to tease a bit of the campaign and like what things will look like as we develop it, because we want to generate hype for it, but right now it's just not being worked on in any really official capacity by the team, because we're just focusing on learn. All the mappers are doing learn, all of our modelers are doing weapons and a player model and stuff. So like right now we're getting the core of the game in, and then like 1.0 and onwards, like that part of the team's gonna focus on the campaign. So we also need a story, which we made good strides on, but like we still need to finalize it. So
I've not thought about story stuff in a good 6 to 9 months or something.
Yeah, good old PTSD kick there for us. But it is, that's where we're at with it. We have a rough idea of how it's going to be laid out, and I can't wait for people to see what we have in store. I do need to document all of it, though. So, I mean, we have documents, but yeah, it'll be good to get it written down so that if we do have a full-fledged team working on campaign, it's one thing to point to.
There's been a lot of quite small meetings discussing stuff so far, and nothing where we sat down with like a full campaign team and been like, this is what everyone's doing for the next year.
Or, right. And that's kind of what 1.0. Yeah. 1.0, get there. But yeah. Any other input for Tofu's question?
I like tofu.
Tofu is very, very tasty.
The person or the food? Both.
Both. The food. Oh well, I don't know.
Oh, we'll move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next question by toopliss, who's in chat. Hi, toopliss. Following the mention of the 091 changelog, what sort of options for optimizing maps will exist in the future?
All right. Cool.
Lots of ideas.
Yes. So I get to kind of spoil a little bit of what this blog post is going to go about, but that's okay because nobody watches the Q&A. I'm just kidding. This is a Q&A stream exclusive. Anyway, so the idea for maps that we have, I wish I filled out the slides. I completely forgot to last night. But, well, this was also kind of asked last minute. Anyway, so the 091 changelog, definitely recommend reading at least the any color, so long as it's not purple and black section, because that talks about our ideas in place for texture replacement. It's more of a backup option. It's not really what we're going to be like, like showing off, because it's not really anything super revolutionary in terms of like, oh, this is like the future of source mapping, is not packing textures and just letting, anyway. So the idea that was shown there is that for people that don't have games mounted, we can at least have colors or have textures that still show a bit of depth. We might add like little detail textures to them to make them even better for depth perception, but that's kind of what that was talking about, which means that when people upload maps, we are stripping out every single mounted game assets that we can get. So like we're stripping all the TF2, which is what we did for Utopia, and it decreased the size of the map, but makes it purple and black for everybody. But now with this option, we can, bypass that purple and black ugliness. You can still play the map. It's still actually really visible, even if you have that on. But the next step for that is expanding the removal. So the next step is going to be shipping things like real world textures 1 and 2, Nairo dev texture pack, a bunch of TF2 content packs that we have the license to, because we are a non-commercial game, completely free to play, and we would be fully crediting every single asset like that we're taking from the internet, but we would be shipping it with our game. So you download the game and have these texture packs, and mappers can use these texture packs knowing that it's there for everybody, right? Like it's just automatically there. So not only does it help with map creation, it helps with our goal of minimizing the overall download size or stored size of maps. So this also helps us with bandwidth concerns. So the idea, right, being that it's less of a map to download, but it's also like each individual map doesn't pack these content, right? Like it's all shipped with the game, so you only have one copy. You only need one copy, so you only have one copy of these like asset packs, and then maps just use that. So then that starts to open up into like the kind of like pipe dream or kind of like long-term looking thing called the Momentum Mod Asset Atlas. And I've talked about it a couple of times through Q&A streams. So this is any Q&A lore hunters in chat will recognize this one. The Momentum Mod Asset Atlas is aiming to basically take every single texture and like every model and sound and stuff and ripping it out of the BSP and putting it into S3 buckets, basically. And the idea is the map just comes with the geometry and light map data and map specific. So like obviously you don't want to share like cube maps. Oh wait, sorry, I didn't even talk about cube maps. Fuck, I forgot about cube maps. Okay, so all right, hold on. Put the asset atlas aside for now. The other thing we're going to be looking into is removing cube maps from maps and having the first time play of a map generate cube maps. Almost like the node graph out of date rebuilding kind of step. But when you boot up the map for the first time, we're either going to asynchronously or just put it as part of the map load, just a little bit of time to generate cube maps dynamically when you first boot it up. The idea being there that it's even less of a download and it would be just done once per client. So if you if you're trying out a map, it just downloads and does them. A lot of maps don't even have cube maps, so you don't even have to worry about that. So a lot of jump maps, at least.
We would be speeding up the generation there a lot, right? We'd be aiming to. So like,
yeah. I mean, we'd be looking into it. Like if it's asynchronous, it's not even noticeable. You might have a bit of frame dipping because it's generating them, but we'd have some user interface letting you know. But the idea is that this would also heavily decrease the download size of maps because these cube maps are static, right? Like as long as you have all of the assets in the map, you'll have the cube maps. I guess it'll also be more accurate because if you don't have textures, it'll generate new cube maps with the the texture replacement that you have or something. So it'll be more accurate to what you actually have locally. But yeah, the main thing is just it's saving download bandwidth and download size. So the map size itself is tiny. But then, yeah, obviously, you got to generate the cube maps and that'll store next to the map or maybe in a subfolder or something. So those are cube maps. That's the next step too. So shipping more assets, cube map optimization there. And then okay, so now back to the asset atlas. I jumped the gun with that. If I had fucking filled out the slide beforehand, I would have had this in order, but the asset atlas is aiming to basically just make maps the smallest we could possibly get by making it just map specific data is inside the BSP, and all the custom content and textures and stuff get uploaded to the asset atlas, which is a just kind of public repository of textures, models, sounds, and so on. The idea being there that maps that maybe are made by the same mapper and use the same custom textures will only be downloaded once because each of the map BSPs ship with a map manifest, which will tell us, hey, these maps use these content or these textures and stuff, and we could download that. We could stream the download in and pop them in with the async with the texture streaming that we get from CSGO. We could look into just like basically optimizing the shit out of maps being downloaded, because that's the main thing. Once you get it there, and then the content, I mean, yeah, that's just content downloading. But if content is shared between a lot of maps, this will actually save a lot of download there as well, because it's not packed in each individual map. Now, obviously, the benefits there being that maps that share content will really greatly benefit from it, but maps that don't, not really. But the main thing that we'd like to do is have this asset atlas actually be opened up to mappers, and not only that, but integrate it directly into our Hammer, and have an asset picker in Hammer. So if you want it, like, the really nice thing about these assets is once they're pulled out and made in a separate system, we can start to do things like tagging them. So you could start to search through everything, look at all the grass, and then not only that, we could look at usage statistics. So we could see what are grass textures that people use a lot, right, in their maps. Like so people are more likely to have these assets, right? Like things like that would be like phenomenal for content creation, because not only would mappers that don't really know where to get like custom art packs and stuff, I mean, other than Game Banana, right? Like having that all in just Hammer or on the site somewhere, whatever, like we'll figure it out. But like having it all just available for mappers is something that like is just the pipe dream, right? Like having this giant directory of custom assets that you can just use because other maps in the game also use. And then the other side of that is if you create any texture packs or all of your maps use them or something, you can upload directly to the asset atlas as just a way for mappers to use models, textures. So we could look into making like official artists being able to upload their content onto the asset atlas for use in maps. Not only that, but then we can attribute, we're not done, we can attribute all of these assets to credits. So when you use these like assets in your map, the content creator of that asset automatically gets credited in your map. So yeah, like there's a lot of system interconnectivity there. It's more of a pipe dream because this is like I mean, this is a system that it's just going to require a lot of manpower to like develop, and it's engine. It's a ton of web, but it's doable, and it's something that I would really like to look into doing for maps. So that's kind of what that blog post is going to go more into depth about. Yeah. So and that, I mean, you know, a lot of maps might not optimize their size down. I mean, we can also look into better compression, right? We can look into, because like that's the thing is like a lot of these systems are just so deeply embedded into the engine. I mean, we have a lot of like map related functionality that we're looking into improving. So the grid size increase is one. We're going to be looking into completely asynchronous map loading. So when you do things like playlists, it loads the next map asynchronously while you're playing the first one or the current one, and then when you're done, you can just immediately jump to the next one as if you just loaded a save log. So there's stuff like that we really want to just capitalize on because we have engine access and we can. Yeah, but yeah, the asset
I see in chat is also like HDR and LDR, and I believe we're going HDR only.
Yeah, CS:GO is HDR only.
CS:GO is okay. I don't know that, but
I believe
that will also cut down on maps.
Yes, so only one dynamic range. That's the word.
Yeah.
So like the map HDR mode will always be on HDR, and then we'll be going map by map, making sure that the settings are good, and that the duplicate like LDR and HDR stuff is like just tidied up. So if it's only HDR, then we do HDR. If there's things like bloom that's not configured correctly, we can just go in and add the end map controller and tone it to look okay, because some mappers forget about HDR and compile it for HDR. But there's hold on, there was some
You won't lose the classic orange dev textures. Those can still be mounted from game files, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
we could even do our own.
We're shipping them. We're shipping Nairo dev textures with our game.
Oh yeah.
So like you'll have dev textures.
Yeah.
Like with the
I don't
game.
think Valve would care if our Atlas did include the default Valve dev textures. I mean the dev textures, but
well, if we ship it with the game,
you can make your own.
yeah.
If we ship
I think people like,
Half-Life 2
weird numbers and stuff on that stuff.
Are they in the Half-Life 2 content repo though? We shipped that with the game already, so
I think so.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
You're fine, then.
not the yellow ones. I don't think. I think those are TF2.
No.
Oh,
the
okay.
Red and blue ones are TF2, but I mean,
Okay.
making
But
our
the
own...
Nairo dev tech that should cover.
Nairo's
everything.
ones we can do. I mean, making our own dev texture is like so easy.
Oh,
ever use a designer.
Yeah, and then the other thing I forgot to touch on with the Acid Atlas is I'm still on this, by the way. No, the Acid Atlas can define the manifests that we define for maps can point to alternates. So if you're using a CS:GO sand texture, we could or CSS sand texture, we could point to a CS:GO one as an alternate.
Yeah.
So it's like the texture replacement system doesn't just use a color; it would use just another look-alike texture that like exists on other games or other sources that you would have mounted. So we can define like it's pretty complex, but like we could define alternates for textures that are used in maps too, like backups, like fallback textures.
Kind of. We've always had like a different levels of how much we want to do for supporting missing textures, but like one of the ideals really would be to have just really good replacements for everything.
Yeah.
And just let people. I mean, that would be incredible.
Yeah, like a really cool community project, if you guys ever want to do, is completely remake all of CSS's textures in PBR. If you can remake all of CSS's textures and models, that'd be phenomenal. That would be great. Yeah.
Something designer was free, and like I could teach everyone how to learn stuff. Like, it's so good, but not that many people know it.
But that requires Adobe not making money, which is impossible. So,
that's true.
Yeah. Is there defrag strafe HUD?
I
Like,
would
no,
reply
yes,
here.
that is
I mean,
see
this
We're
guys.
gonna
is-
show
we
it
have-
here.
Yeah,
we'll show it.
we'll show it.
See you guys snaps. We've got a really good dev we put on.
Yeah, we
specifically
only
for
got
it.
one more
Yeah.
question.
Oh,
so.
yeah, one more question. Okay, so hopefully, toopliss, that helps answer and spoil the next blog post that I'll be writing about the content optimization that we're going to be doing. So, yeah.
This is a fun
Thank
little
you.
window into all the like tech ideas we have that like
Yeah.
are sort of in the pipeline.
Yeah, it's good. It's important to show that off because we have a lot of great stuff coming up. Like if it gets fully in and merged. So, cool. Okay, next question.
Yeah. Next and last question by CaWU, frequent in the Q&As, it seems. Can you show off all the awesome panorama work done for 091? What
Yes.
changes can we expect going into 092?
I probably should have
Yeah, we'll
put
show
the
off the
second
snap on
question.
there.
We'll show stuff off very soon. Could I go over some of the changes for 092?
Yeah.
Because I think we'll show the 091 stuff very shortly. Just
Yes.
after. This is our last question. So,
Yeah.
092. We've got several things that already exist. There's one thing that we haven't ported yet. I think, kind of more maybe, but it's essentially the game instructor system, which is like I think it started in Left 4 Dead 2 or Left 4 Dead 1 when they added it. We want to improve that a bunch, so we left it for a bit because it's kind of an overhaul, not just a port. But so we'll be doing that. That's really important to the learn section. So we'll be doing that and hint stuff as well, potentially. Maps showing text and stuff. There's still that. Then we have map selector, which has various issues at the moment. The main one being that like it's a bit weird with like the queries it makes. I'm not sure if we'll be fixing that in 092 actually, because it is API stuff. If you plan on doing that, Gok.
I can do it in
Really
092.
good
We already have limit and offsets working in our current API, so
it's skip take on the new one.
yeah, I'll just have to
Yeah,
change
I
the
think I've done
keyword,
that.
but the overall functionality should be implementable.
I forget if there's other map selector specific stuff. There's some stats that aren't hooked up yet, but that will probably come a bit later as we get map stats and stuff improved after the rewrite. That's going to be the main reason I'm getting licensed is to be able to do stuff like that, so I can work on that in the API and then just plug it into the game code. Leaderboards is sort of the really big one. I'm forgetting if there's. I think that is 092. Some of this stuff I might get mixed up between 2 and 3 because they're kind of the same thing. Just 092 and 3 are like sort of 092 more Pano stuff.
Yes.
I think.
092 is Pano focused. Yeah.
So leaderboards are going to have scrolling, which is going to be amazing. So rather than just like the top 10 around and friends, it will be scrolling with a sort of anchor and filter based system. So the anchor is going to be, if you want to go to top 10, you just click, take me to the 10th bit, and it'll just scroll you up to there. Maybe we don't do a full scroll just to avoid having to like query a bunch of stuff that you're going to immediately scroll past, but I don't know. Then one to like go to like your rank or go to like a friend's rank, that sort of thing. Then we'll have filtering to like just filter by friends, that sort of thing. So if you think about it, that essentially gets you the whole leaderboard. You can look at anything and then you can filter it down to like specific stuff. So that's going to be a really nice improvement. Obviously leaderboards is sort of one of the most important things in the game, so I can't wait for that. It's also just quite buggy at the moment. There's several bugs on the leaderboard that we've known about for ages. I think Gok's pretty like dying to fix them, and I'm sure he knows how already. There's going to be that. There's going to be some improvements to settings. We'll be doing, I think 093 is game mode overrides, or maybe 092. This is one of my pet things I've been screaming about for like a year now, which is having a good system for overriding keybinds and settings based on the mode you're in. I think for keybinds it's especially important. Like I use completely different binds on my mouse, especially for AHOP, but I do surf. Doing that in configs is crap. So we're going to be doing a UI-based version of that we have a really pretty clear picture of how we're going to do it. I actually haven't written a GitHub issue for it. I just was making a note as I was going through it just now and realized I still haven't done it. But we have it in other places. We've got it written down. So that's going to be a really nice quality of life thing. And there was some other settings thing I'm forgetting. Some of the resetting stuff is a bit jank at the moment. Some lobby data stuff will be improving at some point. I don't know if it's going to be, I think 092. So lots of quality of life stuff, and then much better leaderboards than map selector.
Yeah, and the full list of things that you can expect going into 092 is actually publicly available on our GitHub.
I have it right.
All of our if you can link it in chat.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
project/14. Yeah. Oops, wrong link.
Some people love messing with configs. That's
Yeah.
fine, but we don't want to make people do it. Right?
Yeah.
It should be. This is stuff that should have native support, and I've
Yeah.
always massively pressed for that. So, you know.
So that's
Also, one other
yeah.
thing with safeguards will be better in NN 3 as well. That's something we mentioned earlier, that safeguards are a bit jank at the moment, so we'll be improving those a bunch as well.
Poor safeguards.
Sorry, I'm very mean to the current ones.
No, it's not good.
Yeah. All right.
That's sort of the key thing. And then loads of little bugs. Lots
Yeah.
of them are super easy.
Yeah. Whole lot of bug squashing coming up. But yeah, I'm pretty pumped because like just a lot of like the smaller things getting done like feels better and like kind of is a positive feedback loop of like just being able to like get quick reviews because they're really small, getting it merged in and shipped immediately and tested and verified, getting people's like concerns basically immediately addressed over like every dev was busy because we were fucking rewriting everything in Panorama. Right? Like that, it's just going to be a nice change of pace as we start to scale up for 0.10.0, which is going to be a lot of think work around how zones should be formatted. So, yeah. But, all right. Are we sure there's not any other questions before we go?
We have a few in Q&A live we could do, or we could leave until next time. There's a few questions that were asked. I put in voice team. I think they've kind of been answered, though.
Okay. Well, we'll do those because those are those four are really good for next time, I think.
The ones that have been asked recently are really good. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to go through them or?
No, we gotta have content for the next stream. You gotta get your questions in next time. But what about chat? Were there any chat?
Yeah, there were a few chat ones that we.
Okay.
I didn't actually write down who asked it.
I didn't see any. To be honest.
Will there be 128 tick rates in the game? We'll have custom tick rate leaderboards, but they won't be ranked.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that kind of in passing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So standard tick rates for rank. So surf will be 66 tick. Rank, right? If you play on 128 tick surf, you're not gonna get rank point for that.
The question made it seem like there were going to be 128 unique tick rates that you could choose. Yeah. No, there's going to be like you can change it to anything, but there will be the officially supported leaderboarded ones, which there's only going to be one ranked one. That's going to be the default tick rate that, and then there's going to be alternates, so things like 85 tick, 128 tick, 100 tick, 64 tick. We could do those pretty easily. But so we're looking forward to kind of supporting the alternate modes, and those are going to be around 0.12 and 0.13. The off style. I believe there was another question asking about are there going to be off style runs? Yes. Yeah. Those will also be supported around 0.12. Same with individual stages too. Leaderboards. We want to have those. So.
One more one that we've kind of done, but it's actually quite good. Which is MaRkOpY asks, will there be something similar to Trackmania with the medals and stuff?
Yes. So it would be really nice to have guide time because. Yeah, okay, so when it comes to setting times on a map, right, the majority of people aren't going to care about the group system until they're in the groups, right, or they're approaching the groups. So what we could try to do instead to promote them getting towards the groups and through, jumping groups is put medal times above the map. And these would be times that the map review team could pick as just kind of good quality, like looking at like the average speedrun times of like the different skills of the different map reviewers, and just seeing like what's a good bronze through gold or platinum time. And these would just be a local thing to show off. We really want you to, we want to have medals more towards like your overall completion percentage and like rank XP, like the rank that you have for a game mode. So like if you're a gold tier, like we actually have different materials that we're going to be using for like the Weasleys, the Ronald Weasley, the Weasleys. You can be a different Weasley for your rank XP rank, or your rank points rather. So
yeah, I just want to add on that we do have quite a few different. I think medals. One of the reasons I think might not work that well is that we'll have quite a few different sort of boundary systems like that, in like medals, rank trophies, which are a thing coming in the future, which we've not really spoken about yet because it's very much work in progress. The Weasleys, I can't wait to get the car rank and
oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
but I don't know. We're gonna. I feel like so. I'm not sure how well because it seems very similar to groups, right?
Yeah, but it's more approachable because people might not really care about being in group 4 versus like, oh, I have like a gold medal on them, like that kind of like idea. Yeah. And then the other thing is the medal time is static. Like they'd be static, like submitted with the map. As in like these are just rough times to get. Just like Portal, like Portal challenge mode has.
Really good. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's really nice.
So it'd just be some like local thing that we could have, because the actual like thing we want to show off is your completion stats and then your rank points. So we want to promote you getting the best rank you possibly can on the map, but obviously a lot of people won't care about that. They want completion to be, and then for that, what we could do is collect like your times that you have there, your completion, and then look at medals that way. And then that way it's like, in terms of completion, you have this many golds, this many silvers or something. And that can promote you going back to maps that you've completed and you didn't get a great time on and improving. And then that correlates to the leaderboard's going to be way more competitive because everybody's going for a gold or platinum time, which are going to be ideally in the groups or setting group times.
But I think in game design a lot of the time it is really important to like emphasize ways of ranking yourself in like a purely like non-comparative way, like to other people, where like you do just want something where you just don't care about like how good I am respective to like a bunch of other people, especially in a game like Momentum where people are really, really good. So like you'll never really like most players are never going to get a world record. Most aren't even going to get a group 1 probably. Like you have to really grind for that. So making it so you can.
We are still keeping the groups. Yes, we're still keeping the groups.
But being able to still essentially, if you want to, not really care about the leaderboards, but just go for the medals. I think actually, that sounds really, really good because you can play in your own little bubble if you want, which is a totally valid way to like play a game.
Yeah.
No.
And that's why I want it to be more of a local thing, because it's like you could get the medal even if it doesn't submit the run. Like it would show on the map selector or something, even if it didn't submit the run.
Offline?
Yeah, you could do it offline or something, and that way it's just like there's something to grind towards, even if you don't have leaderboard connectivity.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I can definitely sympathize. Like, if you're some 30-year-old accountant who loves playing bhop and used to bunny hop 10 years ago, and you want to just play bhop, you probably don't care about yourself in comparison to the zoomers.
I'm 10,000.
Right.
Even though I have a gold fucking medal.
So you would get medals from just completing the map and looking at the time versus static times that you would get. So when you download the map, it just gets a list of the 4 or 5 medal times, and then we just compare the run that you do, the PB that you get for the map.
Yeah,
and that's how you get a medal.
Competing would really care about it, but
yeah,
it means it's really
just
nice
another system, to just kind of guide it. But
competition-driven people.
Yeah, and then that makes sense because our rank trophies are different materials than metal, which is really nice because medals,
some other.
We have Weasleys. We have
the
Weasleys
Weasley, yeah.
instead.
Flash.
Yes.
Flash.
All right. Okay. Cool. And then somebody asked about Hammer++ can't be asked to use old Hammer. Oh wait, that was MaRkOpY as well, asking about
That was
please
when we
use
were
Hammer++.
talking about like adding something to Hammer.
Oh, the asset atlas.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we can try to see if like FiCool wants to add it to Hammer++. We'll see, because it's really just an integration, right? So we'll see how it like develops. I have to reach out. But yeah, I mean, stay tuned. Like, we have a lot of really great Hammer improvements coming down the pipeline. So, like, I know it's probably not the best experience right now, but we're reporting to QT. We're reporting to QT. It'll be you can edit maps or make maps on Linux in the future, and then we're gonna have a lot of awesome features like the Asset Atlas. And then, I mean, JJ and Aaron are both working on a bunch of tool-related stuff as well. Like, so VTex 2, like, yeah, we got some stuff coming down the pipeline. So, yeah, just stay tuned, I guess. Yeah. Cool. Okay.
I'll be all right. 2 minutes. Make some more coffee.
Sounds good, because we're at the point where we're gonna play some conch. Did anybody actually redeem the please actually play conch? I keep forgetting to check that. But okay, and I'm just kidding. I can show off instead. Oh god. Okay, there we go. Got a alt tab out, get over to gameplay and webcams, and the gameplay capture is going to be too big because it's now the Steam release, and now it's too small. And wait, what? Oh, okay, there we go. And then, yeah. Cool. The game capture should honestly go below all the webcams. There we go. So then I can just expand it out and not really worry about it being overlapping a bit. Sorry, layouts for the gameplay section are kind of hard to come by. All right, so Panorama. Hold on, I gotta like alt tab back in. There we go for the frame rate. That'll be fixed. Don't worry. Okay, so this last question that we had was asking, can we show off what 091 did? Of course we can. So Panorama is our new user interface, remade, all polished. This is our new main menu. We have a webm as the background. We don't use maps. Maps are too long to load. Get out of here with your maps. We have some hot links in the bottom left, which are really convenient. You can, you can go to our main site, our GitHub. You can click on Discord, and that oh shit, it's not capturing. Sorry, it pops open the Discord, and then because it's actually really cool, it detects your local Discord if you have it like running and like goes into it. So it's actually really neat. Like, you can just click it and join. We have our GitHub if you want to report any issues. We have our forums. You can tweet at us, some lovely tweets. And yeah, so that's kind of like, social media presence and stuff. There is a bunch of empty space right above that. That's going to actually start to be used by the milestone system. So challenges and the milestone stuff. So stay tuned for that. That's coming down the line. Exciting stuff though, for progression. Again, the people that don't really care about getting the world record time, they want to instead go for things like completion or whatever. Right above that, we have the news. We can expand this out in the future to have tabs. So things like the official, momentum updates that are going through Steam, which is what this currently is. This is our Steam post right here. We can have things like Twitch streams, query the Twitch API, and anything else like version update or whatever. Like, this can kind of act as that official panel. It is collapsible, so if you don't care, hide it. And then we could have maybe like something else, like the milestone thing, take up the remaining space or something. So we'll see. And then towards the right of the screen here, we have the model panel, which is really, really fun. You can do this for hours. In fact, this is all I do when I boot up the game, and then I, close it. And then, so this is a model panel, so we can actually change what model shows up here in the future, which will be cool, because like we could tie that in maybe with the campaign. But we'll see. The background, You can have a light or dark theme. This is kind of confusing because the background of the stream is also the light mode. But yeah, you can choose to be blinded by the light at night, or you can be dark and comfortable. And then towards the right of the screen here is the drawer panel. So this is basically the extra like information section. It's more optional. You don't really have to go into this tab, but if you want to, you can find some goodies. So the multiplayer in our game is actually a layer on top of the game. It's not a traditional source multiplayer. When you join a lobby, for example, Nerdman's lobby here, which says unknown, that's a bug. But when you join a lobby, you can do it from the menu, just like kind of like in CSGO-ish. You will be in their lobby, and you can actually chat from the lobby, like from the menu if you want, you know, and you can see who's typing. You know, really neat like feature here with like the aspect of multiplayer being a layer, right? It's a layer over the game, so you can see all of these maps that people are playing, right? And in the future, in fact, in 092, so it's going to be this update, this upcoming update. If there are people playing an official map, we'll have an option to be able to right-click and join them. Like, go to the map selector, download it if you need it. Otherwise, join them, and it'll be the official map. We'll eventually join some gamers in the future. I'm going to go through every aspect of the UI first. I have to do it. I'm legally obligated. I'm just kidding. So yeah, you can see what they're playing. You can see if they're spectating and so on. You can see if other people are also in the menu. You can invite people. You can also browse the other lobbies while you're currently in one. The one you're currently in will always be up top, but you know, other ones here. We'll in the future be able to like search lobbies and stuff, but right now it's just kind of listing all of them. So yeah, if you're like, wow, this lobby is terrible, I can go and join miners or something in lobby. You know, that's the kind of stuff we can do there. Lobbies can be public, which is in that list. Anyone can join it. Friends only, which is publicly available to all of your friends that are on your friends list. And invite only, which is, yeah, you got to invite people for them to join. You can also use Discord. We have a Discord integration, Discord rich presence. You can use Discord to invite a channel to join. So like it's, yeah, Richard Presence. Good old Richard Presence helps out, sends the invite over to Discord. And then anyone that clicks the join, it'll either try to load the game or just, if you're in game, it'll try to join. And that's neat because you can, like, we can invite the entire playtesting channel or something, right, to come and playtest. So very nice way to kind of just join lobbies there. The other tab here, it's not fully fleshed out. We got to get back-end work done first before we actually implement it. Is going to be the user tab. This is going to be outlining. I mean, the mock-up was actually pretty cool. I wish we kind of kept it a bit, but
there's a ton of UI for it already made. Yeah, it's just not.
Yeah, it's just not hooked up and not shown because it's not hooked up. It'll just be like a bunch of zeros and nans everywhere. So it's basically going to be showing you your current units, and I'll get into what units are in a bit. There's the store section up top, which I'll get to. There's going to be your current level, which is in the top right, which, yes, we are going to have a prestige system. You can go up to level 500 and then prestige up to 5 times, right?
3,000 is the total, right? So,
yeah. Yep. And so that is aiming to be, that's aiming to kind of just be like a system that goes over top of just playing the game, right? So your cosmetic level is gained from XP that you get for completing maps. And, you know, you get more XP for completing a new map that you've never played and stuff like that. So we have a system in place that kind of just rewards doing things throughout the game, even if you're not necessarily getting PBs or world records or, you know, anything crazy. You can still progress and have a level. And like this just indicates how much you've played. That gives you a currency. So all of the XP that you gain translates into currency. That's not hooked up, so I only have 0 units. But the currency, called units, will be used in the store. Our cosmetic store, you earn units completely through in-game stuff, and you buy cosmetics with those units. So it's all completely in-game cosmetics, and you'll be able to fully represent yourself and your favorite game modes and so on down the line. Our cosmetics that we're focusing on is is things that could be shown off in lobbies and replays. So things that are local, like map background or like backgrounds for the main menu or things like that, don't really matter, because like you could just do that locally, and that's like the other aspect about local cosmetics is you can always override local. So like if you want a sick ass like sick ass like CSGO knife or whatever, you can always use the local files to point to it. It just won't show up for other people. Just keep that in mind. Like if you change your knife to the like Karambit or whatever, it won't show up for other people. You have to use cosmetics through the game in order for things to show up for other people. So that's our trade-off, right? You can customize it however you want if you don't care, or if you do, get the really cool shit from our cosmetic store and do that. We will have challenges, like kind of like achievements, right? So like beating 100 surf maps, like things like that. Goals that are more completion based, that are things to do. So there's temporal tasks, which are like dailies, weeklies, kind of things, monthlies maybe, and those are tasks like beat a specific map, get a specific time or get under a specific time on a specific map, things like that, which are more like temporary. You don't have to do them, they're just going to give cosmetic XP, or the milestones, which will give way more cosmetic XP and even maybe some cosmetics as well, like getting a bunch of surf completions maybe gives you a surf ramp hat or something. I don't know, we'll figure it out, but like the idea is that the cosmetics are tied with, they could be tied with milestone achievement, like the milestone challenges. But yeah, like think of like Modern Warfare 2 kind of challenge-esque things. Like you do the challenges, you get the weapon skin or something. So stuff like that. I like that system a lot. It really rewards kind of like looking through the challenges and doing them. And then the last tab here is going to be the about. So we have credits. It's not complete. So the credits here are everybody on the team right now. We will update this in the future to include things like contributors for our GitHub repositories, things like donators, like people that have donated as best as we can, people that have play tested the game, submitted issues on our GitHub. So things like that. We are absolutely going to credit as much as we possibly can. The software that we use, the free and open source and all that.
The ones that gave us the nice licenses and stuff, like
yes, and Valve, including Valve.
Oh,
and then
Valve.
And then the good old changelog, which is now automatically generated. Let's go. I wrote a Python script to do this. It's very fun. But yeah, so you can see what exactly changed in the last version that just got dropped. So cool. Yeah, so that's the drawer. That's an optional panel on the side, and you don't even have to ever touch it if you want to play the game, because you come up top, you have a couple of things up here. So up here is your profile. It's always going to be your profile. It's going to be your Steam name, the current XP, current units, your avatar. There is this background you can see. It's kind of our old, it's a throwback to our old VGUI background. And that also shows up when you play. Yeah, exactly. So it is more of a legacy thing. We might have this for all of the play testers and stuff.
We could remake that with the new icons when we make them.
Yeah, exactly. And so if you click on this, it'll bring you to your profile tab. So it's just a hot button there, but you can also just click the profile tab right there and get it. So just a nice little profile card there with customization, so you can customize how you look in leaderboards or like user hovers as well. So like if you're in a lobby, you can like hover over a user and see that card, maybe more details or something. And then next to that, we have notifications, which currently don't work. But the idea is that you'll be able to listen for world records or, if a new map is uploaded or something, we can notify you. Like you can follow users, you can follow maps and get notified on PBs being set or world records getting set. And then,
in rewriting that system.
Yeah. And so, it's pretty fun. But that'll be kind of what the notifications are for. We could also have it for like, if you have a rival and your rival beat your time again, we can notify you and stuff like that. So that's kind of the idea with the notifications panel. It's not in place, but it'll ideally just be notifying you about various things, things that you followed, things that we think would be interesting for you to like know about as well. We could look into doing down the line. And then I guess right to left here, the settings panel, the brand new settings panel rewritten. You can completely search settings and it works. So if I wanted to know where like, It works really badly?
Search sucks right now, yeah.
Oh, it does?
If you search for like rocket jump, you don't get any rocket jump stuff, for instance.
Okay.
Setting search. I don't
I
think we have an
see.
issue for that. Actually, I'll do that if we don't.
Yeah. What is
I'll
rocket
make the use
speed?
of that tonight.
Oh,
Some
that's
stuff does, but I wanted to
color
include
profile.
categories. If you search for crosshair, you should see all the crosshair stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
It's just
Okay.
It's basically
gotcha.
that's kind of Valve stuff, honestly. We use pretty similar stuff as CS:GO as well.
So yeah, if I wanted to know like how to change the fire angle, yeah, you can search for rocket fire angle and I'll jump to it, and then you can change it to center, stock, or cow mangler. So we added those three. It's very, very nice. We will be, as talked about in the Q&A earlier, we will be expanding upon these to allow you to set specific game mode settings. So if you want, for example, game mode specific keybinds, which, yeah, that's like probably the biggest one, you can be able to like change to be in a specific game mode. There will be like the base, right? Base used for everything, and then you go into a specific mode and then you apply to that specific mode. But yeah.
It'll be an override system, so we'll make it clear, like if you have it being overridden by another mode and stuff. That's gonna be fun to write.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be very, very fun, but I am very happy. The fun fact about this Convar and View Docs page, this was actually recommended while Tom was streaming, working on the settings page. Somebody popped in and was like, Xonotic does this in their settings, and we're like, holy shit,
that was in Discord.
Or in Discord.
I think when I was streaming was like the end of run, like little things you can click on.
Okay.
I think. I did that like the same day that.
Fair enough.
I did do it like that.
I thought it was live.
One thing I actually want to remove the option for whether you show the convar or not, and just always show it.
Yeah.
It's like off by default.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
We don't
like
need
it should
to
just
be worried about scaring people with the word convar just because they're new. Like,
yeah,
don't know what it means. It's not the end of the world.
Right. And it could be better like stylized to be kind of like smaller and like out of the way. So like they're reading the name of it, the description, and then they could see like, and then if they want to view the docs page, they can for it. And that by the way pops open our documentation website. You can't see it, fucking OBS. Anyway, the docs site opens up and shows you the exact convar there, and you can see like more information if we ever end up documenting more information about it. So pretty neat there. And then this player go settings, which is actually very fair that I brought this up. You can toggle on and off Richard presence, by the way, if you'd like. But the ghost settings is currently in here. We're actually going to move this to eventually a coming soon page where you will be able to fully customize your player, just like TF2, where you can customize hat, weapons for different modes, how you look for different modes, and so on. What?
Won't that be in the cosmetics bit?
Yes, so that's what I was saying. This coming soon.
Sorry, I thought it was right.
This coming soon section, I can't click it, so it doesn't. We're just looking at this still. It will be there. Like all of your cosmetics will be there, and so yeah, you'll be able to fully customize, fully represent yourself however you want. You can change appearance maybe based on game mode as well. So like if you want to have a different, well, I mean obviously like the rocket launcher is going to be a different cosmetic.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll have loadouts or something. Maybe we will.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how we want to fully customize it, or like allow you to maybe set some presets or something. But yeah, and then that will also have the store in that tab as well. So like it'll be like inventory and store, like in the.
Keep in mind, nothing commercial.
Yes, you can't buy anything with real money.
You get it with units. We're not doing fucking TF2, Fortnite, yada yada.
V-Bucks, baby, Mom Bucks.
We couldn't even do it if we wanted to, and we don't want to.
Exactly, yeah. So we're very adamant about you earn all of the cosmetics you do through the game. So just gameplay, grinding out challenges, milestones. Yeah. So we'll have plenty of opportunities for you to grind out the units, but yeah. Like you do have to grind. It'll be a bit of a grind to get like everything that you'd probably want. So yeah, and so now I guess kind of stepping back a bit, the learn section, which was talked about in the Q&A section of the stream, the learn section is also going to be up here, pretty paramount. We might we technically might want to move it closer to the play button, to be honest. Like it might swap with where the inventory, but we'll figure that out. That's small details. The idea here is that all of we default to the bhop mode. That's cool. So bhop and sticky jump.
Your settings.
Oh, that's sick. Okay, gotcha. So yeah, so all of the modes are going to be here. The idea is that you can click on each individual one here. You can get like the written guide, and then you can see the empty space down here that's going to be for like recommended maps that use these things. So things that have, I mean, obviously within reason. So things that have speed pogo, right? That'll have it here, or like require you to do speed pogo or wall pogo. We can have maps here that show up. Yeah. And it's going to be really, really nice.
Yeah, learn stuff this is very unfinished right now. It's kind of the idea is to get maps in, or beginnings of maps in, so we can just have people test it. So it'll be improved a lot, and a lot of it's JavaScript where it really shouldn't be.
Yes,
it's a decent and you had to do that, for instance, because
you have to boon mapping.
Demonstrating tech. I constantly forget. I think it'll just be replays, maybe videos.
Yes, so that's kind of what this section right here can be. Is we can do replays, but we could also do webums and put videos here showing off
it's just rendering webums can be a bit annoying. But...
Yeah, and shipping them because they're going to be probably pretty big unless we make them like 360p or something. Anyway, so and then in the future, as you do these, it will save them as completed. So so it'll be like marked with green or something. We'll figure out the UX, but yeah, it'll be marked, and so you can trace how much you've done, and then we could have things like filters, like hide things that you've already done or something. So anyway, and I mean, obviously we only have two. The bhop and sticky jump ones are currently in place. We're eventually going to have defrag, but it needs some custom entity, so around 010. And then the other ones just need Surf is currently being worked on too by XBman, Granis, and I think Extra Festive. So so that's kind of just the rough look at Learn. And then last but not least, the main menu, the big kahuna. How are you going to play Momentum Mod? You got to get maps. So this is the map selector. It's honestly the cream de la crop of Panorama. It's a lot. It was a lot of work. It does still need some, actually. Yeah, that's true. But the idea is that it is a one-stop shop for all of the maps you could ever want. You could filter by specific game modes if you want. You can filter by specific tiers if you want a tier range, or if you right-click, you can do a specific. Oh God, fucking blinding. The anti-chamber. You can do a specific tier, or you can do a range. You can filter by the tiers, going lowest to highest or highest to lowest. We're gonna probably optimize this a bit more and make this like a toggle button or something to like flip which order, ascending or descending. But and then you can download. Oops, I need a map that I don't have. There we go. Yeah, you can just download one-click download a map from here.
I don't think you can search for authors, but we could probably do that. We could have it take like parse the query string and just turn that into a query we put in the request, right?
So we wanted to look into doing tags. So things like author : would then start to filter by authors. And then we could do things like technique or tech : and then you could do like airpogo. And then that'll search the map tags
nicely in the DB, right? Oh.
Yep. Map tags. Yep. So
really big getl endpoint.
I mean, no, it's just going to join when you get the map. So like we'll fetch the map data. So we fetch map info, map credits, and tags at the same time. And then when it caches it, we just go through the cache. Anyway, so a lot of fun there. You can filter by whether or not you've completed a map, whether or not you haven't. I'm gonna get rid of that. Okay. Yeah. So maps that you haven't completed, or just both, which is by default for everything here. So things not favorited. So things that you haven't, like if you want to mark maps there, and then maps that you have downloaded versus maps that you don't. So I guess that's kind of it. We'll eventually have unranked maps, so maps that are deemed not really competitively viable, that don't really deserve a ranked leaderboard for rank points. We're going to put under the unranked tab. So this is where you can find those. And then maps that are in progress that need testing are going to show up under the beta tab. So maps, or we might rename it to WIP, work in progress, but we'll see how we want to word it. But yeah, so these will be the three main tabs that'll default to ranked. So, you know, you'll want to play these, but you can play unranked if you want. These are kind of the more like shoot the shit maps, right? You can still submit a time to the leaderboards, but maybe not really get anything for it. We'll see.
We want to make people playing the test maps really accessible. Like,
yes,
testing maps shouldn't be just like pinging people in Discord, being like,
yes,
oh, do you want to test my map or whatever? You can have a work in progress map that we host and it's in game, and people will test and give you feedback, and that should be done.
And we can reward that feedback too. We can promote people testing maps and giving feedback by giving like more cosmetic XP each time or something.
Yeah, feedback hats or something when you do a certain number of feedback. I don't know.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah. So
because the overall landscape of just maps for a mode always improves when you actually have testing and not just like random people like giving weird feedback. Like,
yeah,
we'll have this whole workflow where you can have a map tested before you even actually have it properly in game.
Yeah. And so by default, we by default show you maps that have released recently because we want people to play newer maps. But we might actually have like a dedicated tab to recently released maps on the main menu. We feel like that's more important. That would be a better place to have it. And then that way we can default to saving your preferences of the leaderboards, or sorry, the map selector. So then that way we get the best of both worlds. We have the most recently uploaded maps, and then you can come into the selector and also filter by that if you want, and then apply even more filters. So most recent tier, 1 through 3 maps, right? You can do that.
Trending tab for maps.
If you aren't seeing all of the surf maps, that's actually a bug. You actually need to what the hell? Hold on, why can I not? I can't type in it. Our first bug. Let's go. 092. I can't even type in the search.
Let me think.
It just hovers.
Something's stealing your.
Is it?
Can you right click on stuff? Can you click on stuff?
Yeah. Let's go. All right. Anyway, we'll fix that. It's going to be impossible to demonstrate, but you type in this box surf and then hit enter, and then you'll get all of the maps with surf. But yeah, we're going to be improving that. Ideally, what happens is as you change these filters, we then batch up a request to send to our website to get the most recently like up-to-date things. And then with that, we can then use the delay load list to say how many maps there are, and then use our map cache to try tabbing in and out. Oh man, is that actually the solution? No, that's not it.
No. I've got it. I can replicate it, so I'm going to work on it now.
Cool. But yeah, the next thing that I'll note here, so yeah, you can favorite maps. Maps that are in your favorites are just maps that you like. It's kind of like the like button, but just whether or not you like it. And then eventually down the line, you'll be able to group up maps to make your own gauntlets. You can create playlists of maps that once you play a playlist, it just automatically goes through each map as you complete them. So that's the goal with those. Those are coming soon. That'll also be a pre 1.0 feature as well. And then yeah, we want to make sure that we have pertinent information here. So looking at quickly your rank and your PB that you have, you can click on it, see the world record down there. These stats aren't hooked up. That's coming. Description, authors, the date it was created. We'll also have and this was talked about in the 091 changelog. We'll also have the map mounted reliability, or like the reliance on mounted assets and which games in particular. So those will show up here. And if you don't have it mounted, we'll have it there. Playlist is grouping. So like what you'll do is you would create a playlist and add maps to a playlist. And then when you play a playlist, it goes in order of what you have in the playlist. And that way you can just you can queue up a bunch of maps to play if you want. We could also do a sort of play next queue of just queuing up a bunch of maps. like to play next in your queue. That could be a playlist or feature that we offer there. But yeah, you'll like right click and then it'll probably be like add map to playlist, and then or I don't know, we'll figure out how we want to like have the add map to playlist sort of thing. But yeah, cool.
The playlist will be good.
Yeah. Trying to think what else. You can also see leaderboards in the map selector. So if you want to see kind of what your friends' times are for a specific map, seeing that you're basically the bottom of your friends and just enjoying it. Yeah, very fun. Very easy way to just kind of see like local times and maybe even times of people that are in your lobby as well. So I'm no longer the bottom. Let's go. So yeah, so people in your lobby, you can click here and see lobby times. And then you can also see runs that you download as well. So like runs that you've downloaded from our site will show up here, and then runs that you've done will also show up here. Cool. And then down here is the gallery, but that doesn't work. That will hide the map selector and just let you see the images of the map, so you can browse through, because there's more than just a thumbnail, but we don't have it hooked up currently.
I fixed a bug, I think.
Yeah.
I'm so clever.
So, cool. We got another update coming very soon to fix map searching, because yeah. Anyway, yeah. Okay, so now I guess let's go and show off some of the panorama in-game. Anyone playing Kong? Nobody playing Kong. Unfortunate.
Let's play some lesser modes. Like, we've not played much surf on here.
Okay, that's true. That's true. I'll play some Utopia.
Some bhop. Pirates are good.
Play the good old Utopia. Oh yeah, the classic the classic dev commentary node popping up there. That's just a bug. We'll be re-implementing that panel specifically in Panorama. But yeah, wait, what is the ghost panel busted too? They don't have like a proper background.
Huh?
You don't?
Yeah, it used to be black, or like I think it used to have the.
Oh.
It used to have like the title card thing, the image.
It did.
Yeah, when did we last touch that?
I don't know. It's been a while.
Refactor.
Oh, it might have been. Yeah, it might have been in the refactor.
I don't think
it
I
might
did.
It might be like looking for an image that doesn't exist. Or something.
Oh, the image refactor. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Look at that flashlight.
Oh, yeah, good shout. Good shout. I can fix that.
Yeah. Okay. So that'll be interesting. It's probably in console, which things it's missing. Yeah. Yep, it is. It's images game modes unknown SVG. Oh wait, no, that's not it. Spectating icon. Panorama images Steam SVG.
VTF, I think.
Spectating.svg. Replay-open SVG. Yeah, definitely check console when you boot up the game.
I thought it was a VTF.
Yeah,
it might be actually. Yeah. Oh man, we gotta disable ghost
like
flashlights. Ghost flashlights are like showing through the wall.
I think those can be PGN. I'd rather the cards be PGN. I think it'd be annoying. PNG. PGN. I always say PGN. PGN's a fucking chess game.
Yeah.
I love how the ghost cards like just refuse to work.
Yeah.
The amount of times that they've broken is unbelievable.
Yeah, they're very tedious. But yeah, so this is kind of showcasing a little bit of the HUD. So we got our speedometer in the center there. Good old speedometer showing you how fast you're going in hammer units.
Weapon inspect will probably do,
Yeah.
Got Spring Scale, excellent animator on that.
Yes.
At some point.
Yes. We have a lot of awesome animations coming in from Spring Scale. That will be, we'll actually probably even have a little blog post exclusively about all of the awesome. No, it's too low. Fuck. Get bodied. Anyway.
A really good question from Chocolate Chip Daddy 42.
Yeah.
Flashlights are weird in Source. and we've considered just getting rid of them completely.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we shouldn't have them.
Yeah.
It's a lot
Why
of
would you
extra
have
data
that? It
stuff,
doesn't
yeah.
make any sense.
It's just a
Me,
pass-through
anyway.
feature that.
Will I see in dark maps and stop scaring
Yeah, we just scream at any mapper that makes an overly dark map. Turn the brightness up.
Yeah. So we might just straight up remove flashlight, which simplifies a lot of our shaders.
Yeah, also, yeah, Matthew Fulbright is actually a really helpful person now.
Yes. Yes.
Matthew
Fulbright. But yeah, so on the left side of the screen, you can also see my comparisons. You can see in real time. It's also below the timer, which is also below the speedometer there in the center. You can see comparisons in real time on how you're doing compared to your personal best. In the future, we're going to allow you to compare against any run that you want. And a higher flick gets me right to the end there, bodied. A little bit of a PB there, but now I get to show off end of run. So, holy shit, watching it all work. Oh man, the animations of the bar filling are going to be improved, right? Like in the future, but cool. So yeah, so end of run. This is probably the most important panel. So it took a lot of time, but we're speedrunners, right? We love live split.
Yeah.
We don't want to make people download live split to play our game, but we love what live split does. And if you're ever speedrunning literally any other game, definitely check out live split. And yeah, so we first started off with just showing times, right? So the most important stat, right, is going to be the time that you get per zone. Just seeing kind of like the diff that you got versus your PB, and then the delta over the time like here. So from here to here, you got a delta of 0.03 seconds. So you only saved 0.03 over this, but yeah.
I don't know what to call it. Delta was the best term I could come up with.
Yeah, that's fair. We could even use the triangle if we want to make it even shorter and not have to be translated. But because it's mathematical notation there. But yeah, so this is kind of the default, right? It's your overall zone time, but you can actually click on specific zones and get specific zone stats. So as you can see here, right, like you can see how much speed I had. These are work in progress stats. They're not very great, but yeah, you can very easily see against your comparison. You can see who you're comparing against, and in the future we'll have like a setting like probably in the header or something up here for changing what you're comparing against. So PB,
record,
nearest group, friend time, any run that's on the leaderboard you can compare against. Or any local run as well you'll be able to compare against. So yeah, you can also see stats per zone in terms of each of these. So like enter ticks, so I entered these faster and then I entered this one slower. And then I can see like, my enter speeds are pretty good. It looks like I gained a lot of speed in all of these, but my average velocity sucked, whatever. So you can break it down, and then if you deselect the individual zone, it'll go back to overall. So
Utopia is a really nice map for this, where you actually really care about like the speed and stuff there. For like, One thing I want to point out that really frustrates me is the shading under the line here is too bright. It doesn't look very good. It really upsets me looking at it, and it's because of Panorama UI canvas being weird, and the value seems to be different for different people. So the line there is normally much dimmer, and it looks much better. So yeah.
I see what you mean.
I just thought what I'm going to do for the custom thing after I do the tutorial stream. Teach. It's going to be really fun. Anyway. I fixed both bugs, by the way.
Nice. Awesome. I'll review that after the stream. Yeah, so this UI is pretty important because we want people to be able to showcase their improvement. Not only that, we want people to be able to, at a very quick visual glance, see how well they're doing, right? Like how well they did. Oh, my zone 3 sucked. Look at how much time I lost, right? We want that. That really quick, that's where I can improve. Because that's what Live Split does really well. And then those that use live split, gold splits are coming. They'll be locally saved though. We're not going to save them on the server. So keep that in mind. But we will try to sync them. Like we'll use Steam Cloud to synchronize it. But yeah, that's just how they'll work. Cause what technically constitutes a gold is like in progress runs, but do you have to complete the run in order to submit it? I don't know. Anyway, we could try to look into making gold splits track as well on the site. But for now, for like the first implementation, it'll be local, and until we figure it out for the site. But
I could say
yeah,
that like the big shape that was just in front of you was me testing the card background thing, checking that it's fixed. It's fixed.
nice. Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah. And then yeah, so the I guess the other bits here, you'll get status indicators on whether or not things have uploaded or not, saved and uploaded. The thing about Momentum is all runs should save, even if you use SV cheats or are a cheater. It should save as long as you hit the required zones and stuff. And then submission to the website does require internet connection, so that'll let you know. It'd be nice to have in the future maybe a progress bar, but the problem with that becomes there's going to be more to process with runs, right? So cough, cough, anti-cheat, cough, cough. But yeah, the other things here, the quick buttons, being able to watch the replay, right? Yes, it included a bit of my fail. That's actually pretty funny. So we have a rolling buffer on recording. So if you fail and then restart and immediately start your run, you could actually have a little bit of your past run. But the nice thing about our replays is because, we have complete control over all of it. We can jump anywhere we want to. Anywhere we want to. And this bar in the future, this is part of the replay refactor, we will have individual stages show up on it. So like you will see where each stage or checkpoint is, so you can very quickly jump to a specific zone. So like when you first enter a specific zone. And then in the future, we can have things like no fail mode, which is like it cuts out all of the failed attempts that you do from the replay, and just the playback is just all of your successful attempts. It'll be very clearly jumping, like it won't if somebody tries to record it and pass it off as like a world record that they totally got, it'll be very clear. But like the main thing with that is just being able to just see like a complete run that you've done without the fails. Somebody fucking jerfing, oh my god. Anyway, or defragging. So the other button that we're going to try to add as well is being able to record out the run, the replay, to file. So integrating source video recorder from CrashFort directly into the game with literally like one button or something down here, and it can open like an options panel if you need like advanced settings or anything, but it goes through and records out the entire run using GPU, everything. So we're really looking forward to integrating that as well. So that'll be really good for content creators looking to record the playback in first person, but also maybe even third person shots as well. We'll see. But yeah, so this is spectating my replay. I can jump to any part of the replay. I can slow it down if I need to. Like, wow, how did not that slow. If you slow down to 0%, it just falls. So wow, that board, that was terrible. And then he doesn't even take the shortcut. Anyway, yeah, so a lot of fun that you can do with playing back your replay. Yeah, and then you can hide those controls and get them back up here. We're going to be optimizing the layout of this. It's kind of jank right now. Like you can see a little bit of the HUD underneath is like hidden. So we're going to be looking into how to better do that. So if I stop doing that, I guess the next part that I can start to talk about is the lobby aspect. So if I go back to the start, we see some gamers here just hanging out, right? We're actually able to spectate anyone that's in the same map as you when you're in the same lobby. So just showing that, I mean, I could probably just use spec for now. So yeah, so we're now spectating Expert here. Wow, look at them go. Holy shit. Don't fuck up. Anyway, so this is real time. This is experts like surfing like in their game. The way that our networking works, as I was talking about earlier, is it is a layer on top of the game. It only networks like basically position data, so we don't need to synchronize, right? People are just basically telling you where they are, and we show it in the game because it doesn't really matter, right? Like it doesn't, like you're not trying to shoot Expert as he gets world record, right? You're instead just watching them. So it, like, sure, the ping between me and Expert might be pretty small, but yeah, like the nice thing about like this networking stack is you can have hundreds of ghosts, right, at the same time, assuming we optimize the networking traffic, and it shouldn't impact your game, right? Like it should not impact how the game feels to play. Like all of these people that I'm spectating feel local because it is. Like it's just their local game, and we're just like we're collecting data every like tick and like updating these ghosts as we get data, but it doesn't matter if we're on different ticks because we're not synchronizing it. Yes, we do eventually want to show the splits for the current ghosts that you're spectating. A lot of these elements are kind of dynamically generated and event based. So as you change who you're spectating and things like that, we'll be tracking things like, oh, they started, you know, their timer at a specific tick, and then we can try to like we'll network that and like have comparisons there. It won't be fully accurate because like again, we're not really trying to go for like the most precise thing ever, but it can still at least populate with the information, which makes spectating a little bit better. Yeah, because right now the timer's not even running, so like just things like that. Yeah, it'll be showing. Yeah, it's in the top right corner. Crazy
you
chocolate.
can see both of us.
Yeah.
But also if you look in the lobby menu, if someone's it doesn't seem to be working. I think it might have broken.
Yeah, we're gonna redo the spec lobby stuff, but anyway, yeah. So you can see it's in the top right corner up here. We kind of tucked it away because it shouldn't be that prominent, and plus we have weapon select down here, so we can't hide that. Yeah, it should be up in that corner. But yeah, and it's cool, and you can also paint or not. Hold on. Oh wait, is paint? Oh, is paint broken? Hold on. Is my paint coloring? Paint is broken. That's not good. Okay, cool. We'll fix that.
Paint.
Probably to do with settings. It might be to do with settings and like it's like toggling it off or something. Anyway, we'll figure that one out. All right. So yeah, I did some surf. Let's do some conch. Oh yeah, that's right. You have to like right click to get conch. I mean, we've done INAFT, we've done school. What's a good map that I should do?
Ninja.
It's pretty hard. I mean, I could do Imhotep. I'm Hotep.
Oh god, I was playing this the other day. I hate this map. It took me so long to beat. It took me over an hour to beat this map. And
Yeah.
I remember looking at the leaderboards like, how has Gok done this in 20 minutes?
It's a fun map. Oh shit. Okay, that was bad.
Oh my god, stage 9 is horrible.
Oh wait, I'm getting the timing off. Hold on.
Ofen was.
So I need to juggle. That's right. You have to juggle it. Okay, that's right. I got it. Oh! People are trying to vert their way up. Oh, whoops. Damn, I'm getting the timing off. Okay, so maybe I might not be able to beat this map. I didn't look down enough. Juggling is hard, I will admit.
It doesn't end up copying some map. God.
There we go. All right, I forget how to do this one. Fuck. Oh wait, no, I think I know how to do it. Oh, okay, that's sort of it.
Conk has like a 20-minute time on it. That's like a good time.
Damn. It's not a bad map. Like, not in terms of like difficulty. You just have to.
9 really upset me. I was
Yeah.
so long on it. It just got this horrible.
Oh shit, that was the wrong way. Fuck. Okay. Oh, so close. Damn. I gotta get under that, like, lip. I think you can just double it, though. Fuck! Oh, that was so close. Damn, damn. Okay, closer, closer, closer. It is. It's a harder map. It's is it tier 3? Yeah, it's tier 3.
Only tier 3, but like Conk gets really hard.
Yeah, it scales.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so close. Oh, this was, I think, the strategy I used. Oh, well, that would have been it if I'd rotated the right way. Oh, come on. God damn it. All right. It's close. It's so close.
Oh, I did it. Okay.
I promise. I know how to do this map. I do have a world record replay on this map. So, just saying.
You have a 24-minute time.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's like top 1.
It isn't, but
It's close.
no.
Fuck! I'm just beefing it. Oh!
You do this in just 2 Kongs, is that the idea?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Just throwing one down and then use the other one to like just launch you over.
Yeah,
Oh, that's so close.
It, right?
Yep, it's a matter of angling. Which, to be fair, I have not played Conk in a bit, so I'm gonna blame it entirely on that. Damn. I think I could probably look way more down for the second Conk. Fuck. Okay. Okay.
Annoying, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're bad. No, I'm just kidding. Like me.
Oh, I almost got it.
Yeah, something like that. We're already passed by all the Conk boomers.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Fucking finally. All right.
Oh, I got it.
Synchronize, baby. Oh, shit.
No. Oh, this one. Okay.
Yeah, you have to, like, delay it a bit. Oh! Oh, wait, you throw yours in the pit? You don't have to. I think it's... Oh, okay.
I always find it easier for this. It's like that one on
Yeah.
the speed where I'd always miss code.
Yeah.
You have so much air control in Kong that you can really, like, as long as you get the timing, that you can position yourself so easily.
Ooh, yeah, there we go.
Fuck.
Oh, I did. Okay, it's super delayed here. Oh, fuck. Conk is all about timing. So you throw a grenade that has a preset fuse basically on it.
Yeah.
Okay. And so it's all about getting that fuse to go off at the right exact time. The other quirk about it, though, is that the closer you are to the conch, the less it boosts you. So if I'm like right on top of it like this, it kind of gives me a little bit boost. But if I'm like over here, like near the edge of its radius...
Yeah, it is Cooking Nades and Half-Life. No, it's not Half-Life 1, but this is Team Fortress Classic.
Yeah.
But
is very, very much, yeah, cold source. Oh, I didn't strafe. I didn't strafe. Oh, unfortunate. I had the right timing though. No! I'm so close. There are people that are just fucking wizards at this mode,
Yeah.
and it is always entertaining to watch. Like Maxim and Emp are two streamers that when they do it, very rarely, but when they do some conk, it is a treat and a half to watch. That was weird. I like didn't move forward there.
Yeah, Maxim conks. Because Maxim's a boomer.
Oh! So close.
I tensed up with that one, God. While I'm specking it, and I tensed up while specking.
Yeah. It's close. I have the timing down. I just need to like maneuver better. Oh, okay, that was poor timing.
It's timing's. It's not that hard, is it? It is just.
It's not that hard.
It isn't. Yeah, it's not that hard. That was not jumping. I forgot to jump.
I still do find
Fuck.
running.
You just
Like,
jumped
falling.
into the lava.
I just
I
like
almost
swimming
had
in lava. Wait, why am I not getting hit by my kongs? This is blasphemy. Ah.
Yeah, multiplayer's pretty good. You don't have to pay to serve. Oh, I got it. I'm so much better than you. You don't have to pay for servers. You just have
Yep.
lobby via Steam networking. I mean,
Yep.
it's the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah.
It's like 12
It takes
people,
literally
like,
2
from
clicks
that.
two clicks, Philip, to start a lobby. Okay, that's too early.
Oh god, I really like Phase 5 of this map.
Uh-oh. That was... damn. No! I wasn't far enough away. So that's the problem, is if you're too like close to the conch, it does not boost you the way that you need it. So you need to make sure that you not only maneuver yourself, but also the conch, because you have control over where it's going when you throw it.
Hello?
Hi,
Hello.
I lost the...
internet?
Computer?
You lost the game?
computer.
Entire computer.
I'm not... I don't have the webcam.
Computer.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. It just failed loading or something.
That's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, online. Strange.
There we go. Perfect. Oh, wait, hold on. It's in my eye.
Oh my god, I almost had it. This stage is really fun.
Yeah,
Because this is like 2 conks with like good timing and good strafing.
yeah. Damn. Yeah.
I'm back.
Back once again, well, renegade.
Oh, did I just... classic song.
Lovely
Oh.
ancient textures as well.
Yeah. Gonna have to turn on my flashlight.
Oh my god, I so close.
I can see now.
Spooky. Spooky map.
It's so silly.
Hey, Captain.
Damn. I gotta cook it way later than that. Like that.
Yeah.
Fuck! Jumping is hard.
The worst part when you think, oh, I finally got the cook right on it.
Yeah.
You just forget to press spacebar or scroll. Or
Yeah.
This is a kind of map where I just feel like being able to restart to the stage as soon as you fail will just be so much nicer.
Yeah.
Like, I'm spending so much time here just waiting in the air to hit the ground.
Yeah, it is weird that these are checkpoints. I'm not gonna lie. They are
Right.
individual
This is-
sections of the
yeah.
map.
Exactly, right? It is a well-defined... Oh, I got it! Oh, that was really satisfying.
Oh, no. Gotta cook it way later.
One thing I really like about Conk is people say, like, when they first see it, they think it's, like, weirdly similar to Sticky Jump. They just, like, roll or something. But, like,
Yeah.
in actuality, it's completely
yeah,
different. It's absolutely different.
So much more going on.
Yeah.
And they're both good modes, but Kong is, like,
Yeah.
something really distinct. But also just great base movement, which makes it really fun for, like, we have a lot of people from, like, bhop and stuff that, like, enjoy Conk more than you'd expect, because
Yeah.
I think partly because the base movement is way more floaty and has better accel than, like, Sticky Jump.
Yeah, it's actually pretty nice because we up the air accel from like the TFC movement. Cool. Yeah, there's no edge friction, so as you approach an edge, you're kind of on the hook to...
Not having edge friction. There's actually a stage on this map that's really annoying for. I think it's the 7th.
Yeah.
Okay, what?
Ooh!
Oh my god. That was ridiculous.
It gets crazier. This map is like, it's actually really fun as a tier 3. Like I really enjoy it.
This is fun. I mean, this is juggles. Nice,
Yeah.
like...
You have to play guess which conk it is.
True, yeah, we're gonna improve that too. We gotta get rid of panels for conks that aren't yours.
Yeah, I think just doing the panels might be alright, but also like, we can do the opacity of them, right? In the same way that we do like view model opacity, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the like most of the UI. Well, most of like a lot of the HUD isn't responding to spectating.
Yeah, Captain, it's
We have to
it's
set it
the-
up.
Sorry. It's the former Captain. It's the same whether you throw it or let go. So it is 3 seconds, right? Is it 3 seconds?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Fuck.
Oh.
That was so
Oh,
close.
3.8. Okay. Is it really 3.8?
Yeah.
Yep.
A weird number.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we should
It's a little
change it
bizarre.
now, I think.
I wonder what dev decided that one day. I'm just like, nah, I think this is a
Just like defined a cool part of the mode.
Right?
It is just like the sort of like, you know, you think about like
Well, it's also probably from the other
physics,
grenades.
like the laws of physics and how like certain laws of physics give rise to the conditions that allow for life, and that's like the same with game
Crying.
modes. And that like
Yeah, honestly, like
could be a
one
far worse
parameter
mode
just
if it
being a
was-
little bit different, there wouldn't be any rocket jump. Like there
Yeah.
wouldn't be like any wall
I
pogo.
mean, they're probably-
like, you
I
wouldn't
think
be able
they're
to wall
probably-
pogo.
it would probably, if we tested that, like we had some like AI that could determine how fun a game mode is, which obviously can't, but like I'm sure we'd find that like loads of stuff is fun, just like weird combinations of modes ends up being fun. I mean, we'll probably get to find that out in 2.0, but
I almost first tried it.
Like,
Damn.
First time there, sort of thing.
Damn. Yeah, it's all about timing.
Wall pogo would be a gift. Yeah, a wall pogo. That's a really fun thing in Rocket Jump.
Okay, 1.5 is not the move. It's a little bit after that.
Yeah, I'm going for about 1.6. Oh wait, you're on a different stage. Oh wait, what one are you on?
Well, that
Oh,
is
this
a
one-
good
this
point. That the like hold timer goes up, but like when you throw it, it goes down.
Yeah, it's inconsistent like that. I don't know. We could make it count down.
I think the
I'm-
thrown one would be better for the thrown one to like also go up to
Yeah.
like 3.8, and then you could actually see like, oh, it's 3.8.
Remove
Or just start it at 3.8. Because, yeah.
Oh, and go down. I like going up more. It makes more sense.
Could you
Yeah,
have
it's
that
like
as,
completion.
Down, I don't know. This
Could you have that as like a decidable thing in settings?
Maybe actually.
No, let's customization for customization's sake, I feel.
Maybe.
Well, I'd say both of them. I'd say like you know, the ball, the in the hand and on the ground should go up or down in the same way, but just have it so that, you know, the user can decide if they want their
Yeah.
their balls up or down.
Damn. Oh, didn't get enough speed from it.
It's crazy how no one has said that yet.
Said what?
Captain was like the first person to say that. We had this for like a month.
I was
Well,
noticing it,
Sticky-
as I was
Sticky's the-
thinking, was just like,
Yeah, because we based it on Sticky. Like we based it on the Sticky bomb like count up, and it didn't really cross our mind until like we realized that the panel is also just counting down time to detonate. Fuck.
Yeah, I guess it should start full and then like we could have the little nook like on the progress bar for
That'd be
when
good,
like
yeah.
it gets thrown, when you can throw it. That'd be good.
How did that not hit me?
Actually.
I guess it's really deep in that lava.
This is my issue with this map, is so much of it is just like getting that really precise timing because it goes deep in the lava.
Yeah, but that's the fun of it.
Yeah.
It's like 1.3, but whatever. It also depends on like where you're falling off the edge, I guess.
That's the problem, yeah. It's so hard to get consistent.
Yeah. I mean, no, you can't drop conk here. You need a second one queued up. It's kind of hard to know which one's mine. That's the only downside to having the panels all be drawn for everyone. Okay, fuck. It's too early. There we go. No! Too late! Fuck! It's like a middle ground between those two. Damn. Oh, I was too far away. I was out of the radius, but that was it. Fuck. Okay, I gotta move more forward.
So if you throw a conch straight up, it goes backwards?
Yep.
Backspin? What?
Yeah. It's
Yeah, it's
exactly how TFC does it. Yep.
Oh,
It's just
okay.
it's just
Yeah.
how it works. Yeah.
It's crazy, like if they didn't do that for
Yeah.
sticky jump, like verting would be very difficult.
Yeah. Yep. Sticky's the exact same. It's carried over into TF2. Just hashtag just Team Fortress things.
Just things. We're gonna have bots too.
We should have it so like in Dusk where you can just keep going when you look up. You just go and look.
There we go. Oh, just
I
gotta
love that.
believe. Yeah. This is not where I should be
Do
charging this.
backflips.
Okay.
What the model look like?
But spring scale stuff. So
Yeah, it's figure it out. Just an impossible task. Like,
wouldn't it be cool if it did
Fuck.
spring backfoot spring and they're just fucking slamming their head against the keyboard? No.
wouldn't it be cool if the player did a backflip? Fucking punched in the face. Yeah.
They just reply in chat. Yeah, sure, sounds cool, and they're like bloody and stuff like that.
Oh god, you're on the worst. Oh, what the fuck? You got that so quick?
I'm a professional.
Holy crap.
Fuck. Not that
I spent
professional.
about
Is this supposed to go through that?
I
Or
spent
were
about
you at the
40
radius?
minutes on this.
I was out of the radius.
The other day.
Deep lava. Deep lava.
Oh, you just I guess
You just YOLO it against the back wall. Oh fuck. Yeah. You
yeah.
just YOLO it and then
Well, I did
they,
it.
like,
I
curve.
think I did it 4 times and then kept fucking up like the really easy end bit.
yeah,
Right, I was getting genuinely just tilted. At
yeah.
Just because
As one does. Oh.
yeah, you're making it look pretty easy.
Yeah, it is.
I love that.
Get ragged. No, it's fine. It's that end bit is just weird. Fuck. You have to charge the second one immediately, and then you have to look down and throw it, or like look down and forward to get it underneath you.
Funny how like relatively good some textured on this map look, and then how bad others do. I really like the bricks. I really.
It's
think
lighting. I mean, doesn't lighting.
No. I just think the lava's just like.
lava's-
Oh, the lava does
it's
look
sort
like
of
cheese.
The noise level, or the sort of amount of like good low-res textures can look great, but it needs like define edges. Well, it has to like have clear edges. The lava's just kind of mushy and weird looking.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
It
Come on.
looks more like.
But it's also just the edges of the textures don't line up. Nice.
Ugh.
The way I do this is I throw one directly above me, then start cooking another one.
Okay, I see. The dual.
It's just-
I mean, you probably could, yeah.
I think it's the reason it looks, but it's kind of an engine thing. Okay, you got this.
Okay.
Throw one up.
Someone in chat thinks that it's the
But yeah, it sounds right.
Flash Death Knight. That's it.
Fuck! Oh, wait, what?
Oh.
I wasn't far enough away. Shit. Oh, wait, am I gonna beat my PB? No, wait, there's no way. There's no
That's
shot.
from Deathmatch Classic. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Damn. What's my PB?
I think I'm gonna
50 something.
dip out now.
That's fair. 24:51. Ooh, I could beat my PB if I beat this in 2 minutes. Oh, wait, no, this isn't the end. End is. Oh, succulent Chinese meal.
What they're gonna.
Needs to be
One thing I
lower.
read. I don't think we've gone through the people that subbed. Frank just subbed. Thank you for that. We
Yes.
don't have the sub sound on. TikTok doesn't
Hey,
sub.
I said
No, I haven't set it up.
Even though there's a tutorial for it pinned in the media channel.
Yeah.
thank you, Bray, for subbing.
Thank you, Bray, for
Oh,
subbing.
did you? Thank you, Bray. Bray, Ark, and me, I think.
Okay.
And Alex.
Oh, I'm not gonna beat my PB
Y'all have
anymore.
a good rest of the
Oh,
stream.
and Maya.
Thank you. Take care.
Oh, and Paddy.
I'm beating this game or beating this map, and then why am I jumping backwards? I could just like throw it. All right, whatever.
Wait, is this the last one? Or...
No, it's second to last. I thought it was last. I got really excited.
You've
I
gotta
forget
know
how.
this, 'cause I need a Wii, but I don't want to leave just you on your own.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to leave until
Oh.
Doc.
what?
I'm gonna kill you.
The handheld works.
He goddamn it.
Okay.
Look,
Okay.
I throw it directly above me so it lands just where I was. Yeah.
Okay.
And then, yeah, like that, and then start cooking another.
What?
It's so easy.
No, I get it now though. I know how to do it. Thank you. I have
Oh my
the
God, you're
strategy.
consistent now.
Yeah, I know. I'm a gall gamer.
Momentum Man's already dead.
All right. Last. Oh, fuck last. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
It's like
I don't
1.8.
know, I have no idea how you get.
It's like 1.8, I think. Yeah, it's 1.8, and then you have to go down there. Okay.
It's getting the going down the chute. There's just a small gap to like.
It's not fast enough. There we go. And then, yeah, I did not cook that in time, but yeah.
Yeah.
So annoying.
What?
I know, right? Sticky launcher.
Fuck. I got this. Easy. Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
This is it. Wait. Where's my cock? I threw it, and it just floated its way down.
Butterfingers.
Oh shit. Oh, come on. Come on. Well, that throws it down, but I need it. Need it in the lava before I'm hitting the lava, obviously. There we go. No! Fuck! Needs to also be behind me, slightly.
By the way, we're meant to be using CSGO version of Source, right? Kind of. We're based
Yeah.
off of the CSGO's version, because
Yeah.
it's essentially Valve's latest version of Source 1.
Yeah.
But Chaos, which is the sort of engine project that we're on alongside Portal 2 CE, is branch off of CSGO, but we have various improvements. So we have some better shading. We're on DX11. That's probably the most significant, like, really heavy, like, internal change.
Yeah.
DX9 is fucking ancient, but Valve has never fucking ported Source to DX11 because of, like, fucking Chinese
Dota players, yeah.
Fuck!
I need to throw it in there. All right, sorry.
So,
oh wait, I think I know
nice
what I need
little
to
engine
do.
improvements.
Okay.
We're going to be upping the map grid size limit soon, which will be amazing. Lots of stuff.
There's I have to crouch when hitting the ceiling. It gives me more time. It gives me more time to fall down. It's like the strat that Dylan recommended. Fuck.
Okay. Well, yeah.
The MLG.
Fuck.
We're very lucky to have full engine.
Yes. Yeah, it worked out in the end.
In terms of, like, yeah, Valve has been.
Oh,
there we go. Finally go to the toilet.
Woo! Go to the toilet.
I got an error. I got a JS exception.
Let's go, JS exception. Kicking everybody.
In that enum for when a run finishes. So
but yeah. Ooh, okay. But yeah, cool. I almost got my PB. I saved a lot of time on those last stages. I just gotta grind it, but times don't matter. So I don't know, but it looks fine for me, honestly.
Yeah.
That's okay. Oh my god, time 400? What does that mean? What is this?
It's in seconds. I don't.
It's in ticks, right? Yeah. Okay.
No, it's in seconds.
Look at that lovely mountain you've drawn.
Yeah, I know. Look at that. You climb the mountain, then you slide right down it to the end.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But it's informative, this, right?
Yeah.
It's a pretty good later stuff.
Yeah. And then you close it by doing that, and if you ever want to go back to it, you can always click this arrow and come back. Obviously, the buttons and stuff will go away, but the graph is still here for you to compare. Because the idea that we have is that we want you to be able to compare any two runs. So if you want to compare your PB against something and not have to do a run to see it, you could like right-click, compare against, and do that. So yeah, that's kind of the goal there. But
I do love how screenshotable and the run is.
Yeah. And I mean, this right hand side is gonna improve. Like the showcase run should not be there because that doesn't matter. And then the like information about like the map should be on the map selector. Like this isn't impertinent information.
Do we wanna?
So we're going to replace this with the actual comparison like drop down for like what you're comparing.
Yeah, I
against.
guess so. Given we have the map info thing on the top.
That could also be like an embedded thing as well that people can put on their sites and stuff like that. Like
it's just when you think about like user interface, you're thinking about like what you're seeing, right? And what information is pertained like. So the idea that like this is map information, so it's like obviously you want to know what map it's for and like maybe who made it, but like you don't need to really care about this has 1 billion runs on it and this is my like this has 10 zones. Here's all 10 of them. Like this information's already on here.
Yeah, but the idea there is that the HUD leaderboards, which is basically the wrapper that goes around end of run leaderboards, is distinct from kind of the rest, which doesn't necessarily need to be the case, but that's kind of what my reasoning was.
Yeah,
especially because it can be animated to animate the height and stuff, so it like smoothly transitions here.
Yeah,
like I quite like the fact that the top section is the same for either, but it's probably a waste of space. So
but it's I mean the main thing is just like
Yeah,
we could have this on hover. Like if you hover over the map, you see this.
Maybe,
Like
yeah.
there's ways to like have this information, but like not have it on by default and have more pertinent things. So like the comparison HUD is absolutely going to be up here because that's going to control this on the left side and like what shows up here when you have it.
But do we want to be changing the contents of the top bit basically?
And then the showcase run should probably actually come down here next to this arrow because it's like
probably yeah. I think we'll probably rework.
I mean, we have filters and stuff coming too for like
this
stages.
is not really till 0.11.0 really, because and I think it's actually quite good for us to just let it sit and just stay for a while. This UI, and then we'll probably work on it quite a bit in 0.11.0. But the reason for that is we want rework stuff.
Is this supposed to be water? What the fuck? Okay.
Yeah, good job. Good port.
I have become lava. I am dragon.
Oh,
there we go.
Yoink.
And this is a model made by Vortex to replace the TF2 end cap. A lot of players like the end cap kind of model that are on old Rocket Jump and Sticky Jump maps. So we made this as the replacement so we aren't reliant on a TF2 model, and it would just be a matter of updating the path or like in the map, just the model it's pointing to. So a little map complete, and then our logo right there in the center. So hologram, like holographic, pretty cool. But yeah, that's it. I think we're 30 minutes over again. Fuck. But that's okay. It's fun showing off the game and showing off my skills. And this is me as a dev. Imagine me as a player. What's this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Bob's quite good at games.
I can play them. Skittle step up.
No.
I play him from time to time.
I dabble.
These aren't clip brushed. This map is going to get rejected. There's no clip brushes on these steps.
Yeah, all the conk ports are really well made.
No, they're. Is this a port?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is some old school web map, I think.
Oh,
I think so. This isn't new, is it?
I'm gonna try to climb on top of this. There we go. We win. All right, that's it. I don't think there's anything else.
On an obelisk.
Yes, I'm on the obelisk. Yeah. So, hopefully that shows off the 091 Panorama UI. We got some more fixes and changes coming soon. Yeah, looking forward to showing those off through each and every dev Q&A stream, as well as every dev stream that we work on these panels. So if you like our game, make sure to, follow us on Twitter, join our Discord, wishlist us on Steam, share the word of the game, get people into the playtest. Yeah, because it's gonna be kick-ass, and yeah, looking forward to showing off more, answering more questions. Get your questions in our Q&A live channels so we can prep for them. Anyway, yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and raid as usual. Good old-fashioned raid. Why did my game stop rendering? Okay, whatever. I guess that's just the alt-tab behavior. But before I raid, I'm going to come in here and hit this fat resubscribe, use Prime sub. Bam, baby. Okay, if you got Prime, hit us up. Give us your Amazon month. Oh, gotta share that one. Share that streak. Gamers. Okay, anyway. Yeah, so... We are going to raid Zealots the name.
Yeah. Seems a relatively competent defragger. Hey, let's blow.
And of course, as always, the channel is intended for mature audiences, so all 8-year-olds, you have to close your eyes. But raid message, please play, and then your favorite game mode ever. And then a smiley, because it's, you don't want to be rude. We're just suggesting things to play. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, asking questions, hanging out with us. Yeah, catch you all in the next stream. Take care.
Later.